My husband ditched me at our wedding. I'm now doubting our marriage.
Did you guys even get married?
Doubt? The wedding was only 2 weekends ago, but I haven't stopped being upset/confused about the way my new husband acted during it. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So, background, I guess. We've been together for 7 years. He has a job with a weird schedule, so he only sees his friends a few times a month, about once a week or less. I'm friends with most of his friends and their girlfriends/wives, so we all get together often enough, although he spends time with his friends alone as well. By the way, this comes from Disappointed Bride, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So our whole relationship, whenever we are with his friends, he pretty much forgets I exist.
Yikes. That's bad. That's not good.
I forgot. Where'd Sophia go, Riley?
Who?
John.
Wait,
John,
who's
I'm
that?
right here.
I've never even heard of this person
John,
before.
Riley, I'm right here.
Can you close the window? There's some sound.
No.
I got
Some
you. I got
wind or
you.
something. Thank you. Don't do that. PSA.
I'm back.
She's back.
Yay.
He gets really excited to see them and ditches me pretty much the second we walk through the door. It doesn't usually matter because we see each other all the time anyways, and I just go off to hang out with the girls. I think it does matter.
It does matter.
Yes.
Your partner should want to you shouldn't always have to hang out with your partner, but they shouldn't be ditching you.
Or maybe he has so much to catch up with the other guys with, he's going to go get the tea and then come back and bring it to you.
He's like,
So he doesn't want to waste any time.
I have brought you the tea, mistress.
Ah.
I have collected it as you ordered.
Is this some British
I
butler?
have collected the tea as you've ordered.
Sophia,
What?
I found another skit you could do.
Okay.
British tea, but it's like actual tea and like people. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it.
So like Downton Abbey.
Yes, Downton Abbey, but it's like actual like. Did you know that John
That is
actually has a
Yep.
size 13 foot?
That's Downton Abbey, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they drink tea and they gossip.
I like the
Yeah.
the live sketch pitches going on. Let's go.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to pitch a sketch.
Now, aside from that, lol, r/relationships cliche, he is my best friend. He is always there for me throughout all of my moments, family issues, and everything. He does anything for me and I for him. So, our wedding day. During the ceremony, he kept cracking jokes to me while our priest was in the middle of talking. I asked him to stop multiple times, so instead he turned to his brother, the best man, and just kept whispering/joking with him throughout half the ceremony.
Wait, that's crazy. The priest is like, do you take? And he's like, oh my God, did you see the game the other day?
Hey, brother, you know what's funnier than 24?
25.
25!
25.
Do you take this woman?
To be your 25.
Okay.
The priest noticed and glared at us until I finally poked him and whispered, "Are you marrying your brother? Be quiet."
Oh my goodness, I can picture this.
Mm-hmm. Now, after the ceremony, we went back to the limo with our bridal party. I thought we were both going to be so giddy to finally be married, but his attention almost immediately shifted to his bros.
I think I'm picking up on something here.
This is crazy.
What you picking up on?
I think he may have married the wrong person.
He wanted to marry his bros.
Oh.
This is your video, Riley.
The one I posted yesterday.
Yeah.
Ooh. Someone handed me a drink, clear, luckily, and I tripped over my husband's foot and ended up spilling half of it on his shoes and the bottom of my wedding dress. And he yelled at me in front of everyone and said, "That was your fault, so don't try to blame me." Wow.
Huh?
She tripped and spilled like water, a
Yeah,
clear,
she
a
tripped
clear
and
liquid.
It spilled probably water, and then has said nothing. He's maybe like, I don't know. We don't know if she's on the floor, but like is
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
like gathering herself, and he starts yelling at her.
And says, "This is your fault?" Huh? So, Sophia Gagolf Cologne. Why, bro? I keep messing up people's names. Anyways, Sophia says annulment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's day of.
Yeah.
Priest can probably do that, right?
Yeah. Right. Just like zoop,
Yeah.
one signature.
Yeah. The
boom.
priest is like, you talk too much. Annulment.
Quickest, dude. Can we do another compilation series?
Shortest marriages.
Shortest marriages.
Yeah.
Shortest marriages.
Yeah.
We're doing shortest marriages, going in order from the longest to the
It's
shortest.
90 Day Fiance, but it's Just 90-day marriage.
Right. 90 days to 1 second.
Yeah.
90-day divorce.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I hadn't even said anything. I just tried to move my dress away. My mouth dropped. I couldn't believe immediately after getting married, he was literally yelling at me in front of our whole bridal party instead of being happy. A minute went by and he apologized. I told him I couldn't believe he would do that to me after we had just gotten married, and he begged me to not let it upset me the whole rest of the night after we paid so much money / spent so much time trying to make the perfect day. I let it go. Newsflash,
What?
husband, you can't control her.
Sorry, if
Or her
anyone
emotions.
yelled at me in front of, especially a partner yelled at me, not only just in general would that be
Anytime.
not okay, but like to also yell at someone in front of their family on your wedding day, I'd be like,
For spilling water?
Yeah,
That's
that's like a giant red flag.
so, yeah. It's a red veil,
Yeah,
you know?
Dude,
that'd be kind of cool.
this happened to my
Right.
grandma's dad the day before he was getting married. His like new wife he was with, she spilt something on the carpet or something was spilled, and she just went off on him, like went off.
Right.
And he still went through with the wedding, and
God.
it was like, that one was horrible.
Dang.
Really bad.
When people show you who they are, believe them.
Dang.
Listen.
Bar.
See it. Now, once the reception started, though, I realized that our wedding would go just like any other friend gathering. Him ditching me the entire time during the wedding to hang out with them. I didn't see him once during the cocktail hour, which we attended, and throughout the party after. Everyone kept stopping me and asking me where he was and why we weren't together at our own wedding. Every time I found him, he would disappear again. I started getting kind of upset and felt neglected the one day that should be about us as a couple, and I couldn't get him to spend more than a full minute with me. Just 60 seconds was too much
Dude.
for this man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still
Why are
can't
you
see-
even paying this much for a wedding?
How much did they pay again?
We don't know, but they paid wedding costs.
They paid money.
I mean, let's call it $10,000.
Let's call it what it is. 10K.
10K.
Bro, you probably could have like went to Buffalo Wild Wings and put 10K on a bet and got more money than this.
Yeah, if you don't like hanging out with your wife or your partner, why are you marrying her?
He's just like, yeah, I just like don't like enjoy spending time with you
Yeah.
unless I like I have to because we like live together. So like I just want to make sure I'm not spending any time with you like as much as I
Oh my
can.
gosh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Okay, who's cooking? Who's doing the laundry? Who's doing the chores?
Oh, he's like, yeah, you're kind of my maid. That's why I'm marrying you.
Yep.
And my bros are my wife. My
My
bros
bros.
are my wife, and you're my maid.
Yes. Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this husband does not like you, and that's not
no.
okay. Don't take that.
Dude. Don't take.
Husband, F, marry, kill. Now, right now.
Kill. At one point, I was standing in the middle of the dance floor by myself, looking around, and his sister came up to me and asked what was wrong. I guess it showed on my face, so I told her the truth. Your brother is really upsetting me. I want to spend time with him, and he keeps leaving. So she marched over to where he was and told him to go talk to me. So he came over to me, and I told him I would really like to spend some time with him and that this day was for the two of us and I wanted to have some moments together. He said, all these people came for us. I have to spend time with them. Wrong move, buddy.
Dude, the day's about the both of you.
It's literally marrying the two of you.
Celebrating your partnership.
The entire thing is about the two of you being
Yeah.
together.
No, I mean, like,
That's
I
the
understand
whole point.
to an extent, like, oh, you're hosting something, so you feel the need to talk to people.
Yeah.
But like,
But people get it.
yeah, to not dance with your wife. I don't know. I feel like if I were in this situation, and I'm like a big hoster, like I understand not being able to talk to other people and feeling you have to talk to everyone and
Yeah.
you know move from person to person. But I feel like if I was marrying someone, I'd be like,
I want to talk to you as much as possible today.
Yes. Yes. And everyone should understand. If they don't understand,
Yeah.
then
why are they at your wedding?
why are they there? That's the thing. But he did dance with me for a minute before disappearing.
How kind of him.
He hit his 60-second limit.
Yeah, he was like, okay,
Like-
and time, gotta go.
58, 59.
She's like, you're never dancing with me. He's like, I literally did. I timed it.
Look, it's my stopwatch,
Okay.
bro. It's Velcro.
So the photographer told us at one point after dinner that he wanted to take photos of the two of us outside, So my husband and I began to follow him and his crew when the next minute my husband had
Ugh.
gone off with a friend again.
Why? Why are you paying all this money to hang out with your friends? Just hang out for free.
Right? Even the photographers were getting frustrated with him at this point, and they told me so. By the end of the night, he was plastered, so there was no point of trying to communicate with him anymore. We had an after party during which I just hung out with his brother and sister because once again, he was off somewhere with his friends. I tried to talk to him about it the next day after everything settled, and although he apologized for hurting my feelings, he maintained that all of his married friends told him that they barely saw their wives during their wedding night. Interesting that the ones he quoted are getting divorced, though.
It's like, my friends never see their wives in general.
Yeah, like
And-
they just like
and
avoid
they're
him
getting
all the time.
divorced. But
Yeah.
that doesn't prove my point.
And like that's my goal in life
Yeah.
is to divorce you. So why would I not follow from their inspirational examples?
At the end of the day, I'm kind of in between maids right now. So I thought, for the time being, you'd be my maid. Then when I find another one, I'd divorce you.
It's cool, right? It's cool. So he thinks he's justified and that I'm just being dramatic. I've dropped it because I just married him. I want to actually enjoy that fact, dang it. But it's still bothering me, and I don't know if he's right, and I just had unreasonable expectations. And we have some relevant comments. We have an update, but Riley, but Sophia.
That's me.
I mean, do we instant divorce? That's my question.
We annul.
We annul.
I think we annul. You guys aren't ready to be married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How did they not see this before they put
Yeah.
down, like,
5K for the venue, 7K for this, 7K for that.
The thing is that OP did see this.
Yeah.
She said that this has been his behavior the whole time they've been together.
But she had this like excuse or explanation for it, like, oh, we spend all of our time together when at the house, so when we get together with his friends, it's okay that he completely abandons me and ignores me.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not okay. This is the behavior that he's going to carry into the rest of the relationship, regardless
Yes.
of whether or not you are officiated, your relationship is official. It doesn't change how he's going to act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the thing is, I would say normally before you would divorce, you should go get therapy and stuff, and maybe that is still true, but these aren't new problems. It's not like this was a one-time thing where he behaved weirdly because he was maybe having like wedding stress or something. This is just who he is.
It's just who he is. But to your point, I think she could say if she does want to do counseling and try to work through, it's like, hey, we're not ready to be married right now.
Yeah.
We need to get the annulment and then work on a relationship until we reach the point where where you're ready to not abandon me on our wedding night, when you're ready to actually be like a husband.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And maybe he'll take that as like, oh, we're breaking up. In which case, that relationship's over anyway.
You got your answer.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to, I've already said how I feel, so why do I need to talk to some person about it? Some stranger. I'm about to make you a stranger, buddy. But we got some relevant comments. Comment number 1, wow, that's so sad. I feel so bad on your behalf just reading that. I'd be so pissed off and heartbroken if my future husband did that to me. In retrospect, because hindsight is 2020, you should have addressed his behavior changes when his friends are around way before getting hitched. Yes. And made it known that it bothers you a lot, and if he had a single brain cell bouncing around in his cranium, he'd have a fair warning long in advance of how he neglected you so much on your wedding day would not be cool at all, but alas, the deed's been done. I don't think you're overreacting. I think you explained your side of things very well. I wish I could tell you to just walk away from him, but you did, and he only got defensive. Maybe try showing him this post. A man who truly loves you wouldn't want to hurt you and would be very remorseful if they unintentionally did and would do anything to rectify the situation. Yes. OP responds, I'm thinking about showing him this post when he gets home tonight, but I've been drinking wine and I don't want to upset him, especially tonight. Without giving it away too much, we don't live in France, but his job had troubles due to those events tonight.
What events?
Niche events in niche industry.
Niche French events.
At least niche French events. At least we have one descriptor now.
France.
A reply, F that I don't want to upset him crap. Think of how he made you feel on your guys' wedding day. I understand if he's having a hard time with all the horror that's happened in France, maybe wait a couple of days, but don't just let it go. He had a great time with his friends and made you feel like absolute crap. like all of the other gatherings between you two and his friends. He needs to feel like crap for what he did because it was a crappy thing to do. You need to bring it up to him and do show him this post. If he gets mad at you about it, don't say a word, grab a bag, pack some clothes, and stay in a hotel for a few days. But we have an update.
Ooh.
What do we've already said, like, okay, annul and, give him the option to work on it or end it depending on his reaction. Yeah, do we get some space? Like, I don't know. What are we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is it's not
Over and done.
yeah.
Yeah. I think another reason why getting space could be good too is she might be still in the vortex, the reality distortion field a little bit.
Yeah, that this could work out.
Yeah, and maybe like a few days away, talking to her friends who are outside of heck, not even necessarily suggesting this, but even husband's brother and sister.
Yeah, because it seems like his sister was supportive of you.
Yeah. The sister was like, brother, you need to go hang with your wife.
Talk to
right
your
now.
friends.
Or we think about what the OK Storytime Jesus gave us one day whenever he came along, and we get curious about this.
We get curious.
Maybe he's nervous. It's a wedding. It's a big day. He's nervous. He wants to be around the bros because that's what makes him comfortable. And the only thing he's seen his bros do with his wife is destructive and not very healthy. So he needs to have better role models in his life. And
I mean,
he
it
just doesn't
seems
know
like
what to do.
it seems like I'm guessing he does not have good. His role models are his bros who are divorcing.
Yeah.
That's his role models.
And I kind of know. I don't know if I have to be curious. I kind of know the answer.
There is a point. There is a point.
She's already been curious. She's been like, why did you do that? Why'd you do that? And he's like, because I want to hang out with my bros.
Because I like my bros.
I like my bros.
I like
You're just a
hanging
damn
with 'em.
woman.
I can't hang. You're just a woman. You have cuties. I can't
you
hang out
like-
with you. I gotta hang out with my bros. You know the old saying, bros before gardening tools.
That's right. And I don't like gardening, but I
Even
like playing
on-
games with my friends.
I don't like gardening.
I don't like gardening too much, but I like my friends. So I'm gonna leave you
Dang.
on our wedding day.
A real
That's my
man
impression
would
of it.
have a garden, though, even if it is just flowers.
So true.
So
But we have an update. After I posted this, I showed the thread and all of its many awesome responses to my husband.
Get roasted.
Ooh.
Got him. At first, he was kind of peeved that I shared it with so many people. I got hundreds of upvotes that I wasn't expecting, and I think it made him feel less anonymous. However, I gave him time to process it while I played with our cat. When I came back, he looked really sad.
Good.
He ended up apologizing.
Whoa.
Whoa. And asked me what he could do to show him I meant the world to him. I told him there was nothing.
Ooh.
I just wanted him to know how much it upset me.
Wait. What?
Nothing.
Opie's like, I don't know. You could have been like, hey, I want you to be more communicative. I want you to
Yeah.
prioritize our relationship. She's like, I don't know, nothing. I just wanted you to know that I'm sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell him, give him the guidance of like, okay,
Truly.
like
Help
when
him
you
fix
go,
your relationship.
yeah, when you go with your friend, the clear one, when you get with your friends, do not abandon me.
Yeah.
Include me. Hang with me.
Hang out with me.
Yeah. When we get married, don't abandon me.
Yeah. Dance with me, man.
Right? Come on, I want to dance.
Act like we just got married, man.
Yeah, just pretend.
Pretend for one day.
Oh God.
Also, when I get married, I'm going to milk that so much. We just got married for 2 years straight.
Gonna be, yeah.
I believe
At
it.
every hangout, Raz is gonna be like, we just got
Oh,
married.
sorry, I just got married. Sorry.
Sorry, we just got married.
That's gonna be a great new pod joke
Yeah.
once it comes around.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Now, I just wanted him to know how much it upset me. I told him honestly that while most people think of their wedding day as the best day of their life, I didn't get the opportunity to feel that way about mine. And I still don't.
Youch.
I'm happy I married him, but my wedding was a big cluster F of nerves and annoyance. I did have fun at various points during the evening, and I don't remember it only resentfully, but it wasn't hashtag best day ever.
And you
Okay.
deserve that.
Yeah, that's true. You do deserve that. But you know what? That's okay.
No, it's not.
It's okay.
Slap the OK on top of
Stop
it.
it.
Abandon me again. It's cool. It's cool beans,
Opie's
dude.
like, oh, my husband's finally getting it. It's fine. It's okay.
Whatever.
Oh, it's fine. Be honest. It's not fine.
Tell him. We talked about it more in detail, and then we went on an amazing honeymoon. And then he surprised me with a second honeymoon to a place in our country that I've been dying to go to for ages. I know we're still newlyweds, but I feel like we've been in a better place. Since being married, he's been a lot more affectionate than he used to be. He was always nice to me, but he's always the doing type of lover. Oh, God. He shows love by doing things for me instead of showing me physical affection or telling me things.
Acts of service. That's his love language.
Yeah, his
Acts of
act of
service.
service at the wedding was ignoring you and ditching you.
Yes. Babe, I gave you the gift of solitude.
You're welcome.
Bro, you should have just had like, I don't know, like a couch for him to build. He would have
Yeah.
he would have showed you love that way.
Yeah.
Right? Oh. And then he would have kicked her off the couch so his bros could all sit on
He's
and
like,
play
no,
video
my
games.
bros are coming.
You gotta leave.
God.
You're gonna ruin it. But lately, he's doing a lot to show me that he loves me in other ways. We've hung out with friends a lot since then, and while I still maintain that I don't want to be joined at the hip at social gatherings, I truly don't, which is why this issue never really came to a head before. He's been checking in with me more than he used to. Because, yeah, I was worried that...
Which was nothing before.
Which was nothing before.
Anything is better.
And I was worried that he does the second honeymoon because she said, oh, it's fine when we're hanging out alone.
She's already said that it's fine when they're hanging out alone.
But then they get together and
Yeah.
he demands her. I guess it's
He's
a little better.
improving.
I guess
Okay.
it's improving.
Okay. Got my eye on you.
By the way, do you want to improve your life, Sophia?
Yes.
Do you want to improve your life?
How?
Well, you can go to Spotify or Apple or iHeart, and then you can search OK Storytime, and then you can listen to 2,000 episodes of this show.
What?
Yeah, it'll improve your life, Sophia.
No way.
Yes, it will. Don't argue with me.
Okay.
It's not factually incorrect information, Sophia.
All right then. You're my boss.
That's right. So, and I'm your boss too, so go look it up right now, listener. Oh, anyways. In the end, I think we are so used to the way we act in normal social situations after 8 years that it's hard to change for just one day. Typically, we both go off to hang out with other people. I said in the old thread that at this point, most of our friends are mutual, that it was atypical for him to spend a lot of time around me, who he sees every day, instead of entertaining the people who came out to celebrate him. I've forgiven him.
Has he changed?
He's changed. But I told him on our 1-year anniversary, he owes me a nice dinner at the catering hall, which also has a restaurant we got married at. Winky face.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll believe it, but I'm gonna do a test too.
Oh.
Be like, okay, good. We're on the same page here. Let's have the bros come over and see how you treat me then.
Oh, and what you do is you plant a series of traps with the, so
Yes.
the bros are like playing COD, and you're like, babe, can you help me in the kitchen? And then he has to choose COD or helping you. And then a couple hours later, the bros are out smoking cigars.
Oh.
Babe, we need some help cleaning up in here. What are you gonna choose? What are you gonna choose?
Who's he going to answer?
Oh, the bros are going out for drinks after. Babe, let's play board games. What are we going to choose? What are we going to choose?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give him the labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
The labyrinth
With
of
a
tests.
slice of cheese at the end, which is
Ooh.
a healthy relationship.
Oh, delicious. And we have a comment to close us out here. Commenter number 1 says, you had a bad wedding, but it looks like a good marriage. A lot of people have good weddings and bad marriages. I wish you the best.
It's true.
That last part is true. Commenter number 2 says, I am not intending to be a Debbie Downer, but wanting to plant a seed so you are prepared. If you guys are intending to have kids at some point, you may well go through something similar where in social situations, he goes off and just assumes that you're taking responsibility for the kids. Good call.
Mm.
When that time comes, you might want to proactively chat about who is on duty, when, and also to make sure that the off-duty person checks in periodically to see if anything has changed. Good advice. And comment number 3, other than just apologizing, did he even explain why he acted the way he did, in particular the wisecracks during the ceremony? We forgot about that part. Dude, good question. And screaming at you in the limo.
Yeah, and also screaming at her at the wedding.
Yes. Come on.
I forgot about those.
Right? Same.
You're not off the hook.
Not off the hook, sir. I think it's great that you had a great honeymoon and he's being nicer to you, but I still think you need to get to the bottom of why he treated you the way he did. And then Opie says, yes, he did. About the wisecracks, he was really nervous and diffuses nerves through humor. It was poor form and I'm still not happy about it, but he wasn't trying to be malicious in any way. The yelling at me part, that one was harder to swallow. He thought since it was sort of his fault that the adult soda spilled on my dress, that I was going to be really angry at him for it. Expensive dress, high emotions. I didn't because nothing was going to ruin my mood, but he reacted defensively. Yeah, not awesome. Yeah,
Not really an excuse for that.
that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I was only able to let it go because I know he never typically acts out like that. This was the one part of the day, more than anything else, that I was the most angry about in the days and weeks following the wedding. So yeah, not great reasons, unfortunately, but I still understand. I wasn't the best at managing my emotions either that day, but you did
You
nothing
didn't do any of that.
wrong.
You didn't do any of that.
Like, it's okay that you didn't manage your emotions great. It's like, oh, I ended up snapping at his cousin inside the church because he accidentally opened the doors in front of me right before my entrance. But before the bridal party had a chance to walk, I apologized to him a million times for it, though. I mean,
such a small mind. You probably are like, hey, don't open the doors.
yeah. And then he's like, oh my God, like, how could I ever do that,
Yeah.
cousin? I'm so sorry. It's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. It's your wedding. Like, hey,
I'd keep an eye on this so-called husband of yours.
keep an eye on him.
But that's the end of that story.
My husband is acting suspicious, so I hired a private investigator. My husband, male 47, and I, female 44, have been married for just over a decade, and it has been, for the most part, a loving marriage centered around our two beautiful children. By the way, this comes from U-Choice Evidence 1983, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to ROK Storytime subreddit. So, of course, I've had grievances. He travels a lot for work, is constantly glued to his phone, and sometimes would abruptly pop out for errands. Quotes that he has always been incredibly vague about. I'm going to get eggs.
Yeah, that's her name for sure.
Dude, egg sounds hot.
Eggs.
Initially, this didn't concern me too much. He has a very demanding job that has allowed us to have a lifestyle I never thought possible. Meant that I could leave work to be with children, take us on wonderful holidays, send the children to a great school. I always felt that complaining to him about his work, phone, computer, and random emergencies would be so selfish considering everything he does for us. It actually would just be healthy communication. However, 2 weeks ago, I started getting really suspicious after I had found a love sock in the inside pocket of his blazer. There was no reason for him to have it there, as we only have spicy sleep at home, and frankly, it isn't something we do as often as we used to. This prompted me to do something I never thought I would do, but I found an opportunity to get into his phone when he wasn't looking.
That's bad.
We're going into we
That's
don't trust
already
each other
bad.
mode.
The relationship's already over.
I first looked at his photos but couldn't find anything. Then I thought I would check his messaging apps. WhatsApp, Telegram, both were password locked. Only iMessage could be accessed, but there was barely anything there. At this point, I had a sinking feeling something was up. Last year, a friend was in a similar situation and used a digital investigator to learn more about her absent and secretive fiance. The investigator found out that this man had been living a complete double life with a long-term girlfriend in Edinburgh, and unbelievably a whole business he had set up and was earning money from. She had no idea about the business or all the money he was earning from it, and no doubt spending, on his girlfriend. I asked for the investigators' details and requested that they pull together anything and everything they could find about my husband. And so the investigators spent about a week digging online and came back to me with a report that changed my life forever. I got a call from the investigator warning me that my husband's report would be a very difficult read and that I should open it in a private time when I would be able to process it fully. Since I received it, I have barely been able to eat, sleep, properly take care of the kids, or speak to him, and yet he is so absent-minded he doesn't even realize something is wrong. It turns out that my husband of over 10 years has been having an affair with a woman 15 years junior, financing this woman's lifestyle and her failed business venture,
It's even worse. It failed.
It would have been fine if it was
Yeah.
successful. Attending spicy sleep parties with her where they have spicy sleep with other partners. Posting in a revolting online spicy sleep forum, including pictures of his genitals and details his regular user in to the internet videos of spicy people doing spicy acts, and escorts to his creepy online friends. Based on these posts online, has clearly been spending thousands on escorts as far back as 7 years ago. I have no idea where to go from here. I don't know what to do. I have no idea how to confront him about this, or if I should see a lawyer first. I know the obvious decision is to simply divorce, but our children are 9 and 7, and I have loved him since we first met 14 years ago. And I know that I have a place in his heart too, in spite of these actions. If he is truly a regular user of what? Then is there a way to get through this if he agrees to treatment? By user, does he mean like addiction to spicy and love? Yeah. I'm a complete mess and I can't talk about this to anyone in person just yet. Any advice you have for me would be really appreciated. We have some relevant comments.
You have to divorce him. Like, it's not, I don't think it.
Or you can just join in.
No. This man has been lying to you for 7 years?
At least 7 years.
At least
half of the
years.
time you've known him.
Yeah. Just because you guys have kids, it doesn't.
She needs to get tested for STIs.
Absolutely. Like, not only has he lied to you, but he has put your life in danger.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, I think that for your sake and for your kids' sake, honestly, I don't think staying together would be the best option for them or for you.
Yeah, I can't imagine making this work.
Yeah, no.
If you have, it seems like there has been little communication in this marriage already. So if you're going from like 0 to like ninja level communication to be able to repair this, like that might be a miracle. So it's not looking, like that is possible. All right, we have some relevant comments. Commenter 1, do not confront him. Go see a high-powered attorney to see how you could come out on top. A good lawyer will get him to cover services, get your finances together, get spousal support, sue for compensation, the money spent on spicy workers and affairs, child support, have him cover college for both children, pay for all schooling and insurance till 26, get the child tax credits for each year. Because of his chronic infidelity being the cause of the divorce, you can get more than half in the divorce unless you're in a no-fault state. Also, see if you live in a state where you can sue her for alienation of affection. Get tested ASAP. Let your lawyer guide you on what to do before you let him know. Also, see as many high-powered attorneys. What about some lower-powered attorneys?
Like mid-powered attorneys?
Yeah, maybe some mids.
Yeah.
As you can, so you can have the best shark and cripple his ability to use them as a lawyer. Don't forget all of his assets, investments, and retirement. Trying to ruin this man's life?
She probably is. I mean, well, actually,
No.
maybe not she, but this commenter is.
This commenter is trying to ruin this man's life. Ask for a forensic financial audit for any hidden monies. Bill him for everything and do not leave the marital home. Make slappy phallic item move out. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but you got to strike hard and be smart and don't silverline anything or take his word on anything. That is an approach from a person who seems to be very hurt by many people in their life.
Or maybe it's gone through some, I don't know if a similar situation, but it might be a
the
lawyer.
person offering this
Could
thing
be a lawyer.
has been no, they've been screwed. It's either they've been screwed over in their life or they're a lawyer who wants to get hired by them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It could be a lawyer who's like, you should find the best lawyer, the most expensive lawyer in the land.
Anywho,
It's
I have
me.
some contacts. It's me.
It's just me.
It's me. All right, OP. Thanks for this. Sadly, because we are in the UK, cheating doesn't have much of a bearing on divorce outcomes. However, my solicitor is among the best in the UK, and I trust that we are going to do some real damage. Commenter 2. I'm sorry you're going through this. Please excuse me. How much does it cost to hire a private investigator?
Yes, that's
Sophia
what I
wants
wanted.
to know
the hard-hitting
questions.
questions.
OP. Hello. Sorry to only be responding now. It cost only £250.
That's
Surprising.
wait, per hour though? Like what's is
for
that
an
like the
initial
hourly
sweep,
rate? Okay.
No, for an initial sweep, but this is also an online.
Yeah.
But we also don't know how
Oh.
good
Or
this
a private
Oh.
investigator. They're not
Yeah.
like following him in a car with like
Okay.
binocs.
Yeah, that's less interesting.
And then once some fishy things were found, I paid more for some additional hours of digging. All right, we have an update.
Woo!
Firstly, I like to thank almost every single one of you who has commented to leave me advice or message me privately. I took a lot of advice on board, especially legally speaking, and this has proven to be of great benefit. I apologize for my long absence and lack of replies. I hope the update below can explain it. I chose to wait until after New Year's as I did not want to rob the children of one last Christmas and New Year's holidays of family. You got to give them the best freaking Christmas and New Year's possible. They're like, oh my God, I've never got this many gifts. And you're like, that's because your father ruined our lives.
Yeah, and make sure that like no one don't tell them right after Christmas. Give it at least like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. In the meantime, I researched solicitors and sought recommendations from trusted friends. Rather humiliatingly, I did, after much urging on this website, also schedule and go through with an STI test. Great. It was horrifically embarrassing. I am relieved to say that it came negative.
Amazing.
That's great. I don't know how I could have coped if he had gotten me sick because of his revolting actions. Yeah, that would have added like a whole new layer onto everything. He made my job incredibly easy by flying out for, in quotes, work trip. Not that anything he says could ever be trusted on the second, and I immediately got the ball rolling. Met with the solicitor, packed up all his belongings into 6 suitcases, had the locks changed, and spoke to a child psychologist to work out the best way to explain things to the kids who are far too young to understand the full picture, of course. Fast forward to a week later, and upon his return, I'm having made sure the children were packed up by my mother after school, greeted him to a hallway full of suitcases and divorce papers. Okay. I had printed out the report in full and started walking him through it before we started breaking down in tears. It was a compulsion, and he was unbelievably stressed. And that if I left him, he would have no choice but to marry the other woman, whereas he would end it immediately if I were to take him back. This last part was truly a nail in the coffin. I don't think he even realized just how manipulative that comment was to make. After hours of a back and forth and of his groveling, I gave up. He was left at the bottom of the stairs and entrance to our home with his suitcases, waiting for a cab to take him to God knows where. There is still a lengthy legal process ahead, and unfortunately, it turns out that him being unfaithful, etc., doesn't really impact how assets might be divided following the legal battle. However, I'm confident that my solicitor will get the outcome I need to keep the house and live independently. In terms of the children, I would rather not discuss them so as to keep it private, but it has been an incredibly difficult adjustment, and sometimes I do feel guilty. As for myself, I'm still completely heartbroken, and frankly, I don't ever hope to find love again. You will. You will.
Aww.
I just don't think I could quite trust like that again, but you never have to lose your trust. If you tune into full episodes with stories just like this by going to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime, because we will renew your trust in relationships. Just kidding. We'll probably do the opposite because you're going to be hearing all these Reddit stories.
I was like, wait, this is not the place for trust in relationships.
Yeah. Finally, I'd like to just add that while most comments here have been lovely and supportive, I did get a number of comments and private messages blaming me for my soon-to-be ex-husband's behavior, claiming I did not give him sufficient spicy attention and that I shouldn't complain because he provided me with a certain lifestyle. Firstly, these comments are
Man was
awful.
living a double life. You know, father by day and slinging it left and right by night.
Finally, these comments are awful and betray a repulsive worldview with regards to spicy sleep, intimacy, and marriage. Secondly, our ailing spicy sleep life was not my doing and was at times a criticism I myself had of our relationship, not the other way around. Yeah, because he was having all the spicy sleep he wanted.
He was going around and she was like, hey, what's going on, man? He was like, I'm busy, I'm working.
He's like, yeah, I'm not in
errands.
the mood, because he already had like 10 spicy sleep partners.
like sweating.
That day.
Super sore. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm the
Thirdly, just because someone provides you with a lifestyle doesn't entitle them to treat you as if you're nothing, because people don't own people. With no respect and no honesty, I would have hoped all would be aware of that. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, affairs do matter if you can account for all the money he spent on the other woman. You deserve half of that and is often awarded in court because he spent marital money, which is half yours. Comb through credit card and bank statements for hotel, restaurant, gift purchases that you never received. This process is painful, but you deserve your half of everything he spent on dating her. If you can't bring yourself to do it, hire someone who will. Hire the same PI.
Yeah.
Like, I got
Seemed like
another
he was
job for you,
pretty
bud.
effective.
Hire Magnum PI.
Oh,
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. It can also be used as a powerful bargaining tool if he doesn't want other people to know what he did. Commenter 2, hours of groveling? What a sorry reaction. Anyways, I'm glad he didn't get you sick, and I hope the best for you and your kids as you move on.
I refuse to be an uncle to my brother's child. He threatened to cut me off.
Well, that's not your kid.
We're identical twins. Growing up, we were stereotypically close like twins are. However, when he was 19, he started going out with his now wife, who was 17, and they've been together since. I get on with his wife, my sister-in-law, but she's caused a few issues in my family over the years. A clash of personality, let's say. But after a while, we started to get on. Who says get on? That's like a British thing, right? We're getting on right well.
They get on.
We're getting on.
They get on.
By the way, this comes from Deleted. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to reddit.com/OKStorytime subreddits. He's had a 15-year-old boy, a 12-year-old boy, and a 10-year-old boy. I have a 12-year-old daughter from my previous relationship who lives with me and my wife full time. We can't have kids together, so my brother has made me the guardian of his kids as he is my daughter. and I've also been close to them. Also, almost like a second dad. Our 12-year-olds were only born a day apart, so they're like siblings and spend a lot of time together. Just over a year ago, it came out his wife was having an affair. Ooh. Rough. And they separated, and she got with the guy.
Ooh.
Which is worse, having an affair and
We've talked about this.
not getting with the guy, or having an affair and getting with the guy?
I think having an affair, I don't know.
Which would you choose? You can only choose one.
Getting with the guy is worse.
Getting with the guy is worse. Okay. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. My bro and his wife eventually reconciled when the guy bailed and canceled their divorce and are now back together doing all the therapy and counseling you can name.
Oh.
Wow. That's rough.
Oh, man still
He
said,
was-
yeah, you can come back.
Yeah.
That's all right.
A second place ain't bad, That's still get a medal. I told him I'll be civil to her because she's his missus, but I doubt I'll ever be cool with her,
Yeah.
which he begrudgingly understands. However, what he didn't tell us when they got back together was that she was pregnant with the other man's kid. We only found out 6 weeks ago when he announced he was at the hospital with his wife having a baby. She had a little girl, and he's taking her on as his own. On the birth certificate, our surname, the works. Even named her after our late aunt who we're close to. Usually when my nephews were born, I was the first one at the hospital. However, I haven't been there at all. In my eyes, it's not my niece, just a stepchild. I think he's a sap personally, and I wouldn't do it. But there you go.
Immediately, I think you're a bit the a-hole.
OP?
Yeah.
Why?
I think that if he has accepted that child as his own, like full on adopted, this is my last name, name it out, he is full in on the parenting, that's his child. I personally, I understand that there is a difference between an adopted child and what is happening here, but in a sense, he has adopted this child, and therefore it is his child.
Yeah. I guess maybe OP is just having a little bit more issue with the fact that he took back this person that obviously
which is
didn't respect
absolutely
the
fair.
relationship.
I understand that
but
completely.
I agree that the child,
Yeah.
the not accepting child is a little rough, but let us know what you think. So about a week later, he wanted to meet up, so I obliged. He asked me where I've been and why I haven't come to see the kid. I said I've been busy and I haven't wanted to meet her. Whoa. He was so shocked and said he expected better from the uncle of his daughter. And how do I expect to be the guardian of her with that attitude? I was like, I'm not her uncle, and I'm definitely not going to be her guardian. We got into a bit of a fight, and he stormed off. We haven't spoken since, but he texted me the next day and said, unless I can accept her as his and become her uncle, we'll never speak again.
I mean, I understand. I understand where he's coming from. Obviously, I have my own thoughts and feelings, and so does OP about him accepting his cheating wife and taking her back, but
I think this is a different case.
this is a different case.
My nephews haven't really spoken to me either. My daughter came to me last night crying, saying her cousin / my nephew was really upset that I'm basically rejecting his sister. It's really upset her, and she thinks I should. And she's always wanted a cousin who's a girl. I haven't got any words for her that'll make sense. It's causing a real family issue. My dad thinks I'm being unfair. My mom's on my side, and my wife thinks I'm being harsh, but is supporting my decision. I don't know what to do, Reddit. I love my brother to bits and miss him and my nephews, but in my eyes, she's not my family. She's his stepkid. I have nothing against her, but I don't want to be her uncle. I especially don't want to be her guardian. What should I do? We have
I think you have
some thoughts. We have some comments, and we have an update from this story that's going to come in a little bit. But Sophia, what do you think? Is OP the a-hole, and what should he do?
You just have to decide whether or not you want to have a relationship with your brother. What's more important? You sticking to your, feelings about his wife, or having a relationship with your brother and his kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think framing it as like he's adopting a child, I think puts in perspective how you should treat this child.
Exactly.
I think I understand not wanting to be chummy with his ex.
Absolutely.
Or his
I
current
would
girlfriend
not be chummy with
slash
his
wife.
ex. I get that.
Yeah, I think that is okay. But I think once he's like fully adopted this child, the child is blameless. She didn't do anything. And he's basically adopting her. So think of it as an adoption.
I mean,
kind of get over it.
The thing is, like, he is adopting her.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, legally, he is adopting her. So, yeah, like, I think it's that thing of when parents want to control their kids so much that they're like, I'm going to disown you if you don't follow my rules.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, but you want to, like, you care about your kids so much that you're willing to let them go.
Yeah. You know, sometimes the people you care about most, you gotta let them free.
In this case,
No.
it's like you care about your brother so much and how wronged he was that you're willing to lose out on his life and his children's lives.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. And Jamie Photography Chick says, I feel like he's sort of the a-hole.
I think he is the a-hole, yeah.
And then Sam the Caterpillar says, even if it was a step kid in a different regard, that's messed up to treat them like they're lesser.
Absolutely.
But we got an update.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After a lot of thinking, I've sent him a message saying we really need to talk. He more or less agreed straight away, and we're probably going to meet up this weekend. Basically, after some time chatting to you all and thinking a lot, I truly don't know how I feel. I won't lie and say I'd immediately go, yeah, I'll be her uncle and guardian, but I need to hear him out, what he has to say, tell him how I feel, and go from there. Edit to add, the thing that I'm absolutely most opposed to is being her guardian. Some people know it as godparent. Basically, if he and his wife were to pass away, I'd take them on and raise them. I gladly do it for my nephews as they're practically like sons to me, with us two being twins, but I couldn't raise her knowing she's not my blood.
I think that is a little bit more fair for him to be like, I don't want to be your guardian. But I think
Why
you
not?
have to, why?
Well, because that's like a responsibility.
That's a responsibility that like goes into like you actually are taking in a child.
I
However,
don't like the reasoning though.
I agree. However, I think that you should look at why do you see your nephews as sons? Is it because you're related to them, or is it because you've built a relationship with them?
And I think it's like
Probably the second.
Yeah. I don't like the focus on the blood thing either.
No, it's
you know?
very hyper focused on it.
Family isn't about blood. It's about
Miss Jaber
community.
says so he'd split up the siblings. Yeah, like these kids
a
are
family.
related. The kids are related.
Yeah.
They're half siblings.
Comment 1. Your brother has claimed this child as his daughter. That makes you her uncle, just as if she was an unrelated child he chose to adopt.
Yeah.
Don't punish this kid for her mother's indiscretions. While we can debate about the wisdom of your brother's choices, he's clearly doing the kind and loving thing. And if you love your brother, you need to accept the people he considers family. Reply. He's not punishing the kid. Kids are entitled to a safe, loving home and a rich educational environment. They are not entitled to the love of extended family members. That's sweet to have, but isn't punishing to say no thanks to the baby conceived during your sister-in-law's extramarital affair.
I disagree. Yeah, of course we're not entitled to our extended family members' love, but also OP can't just pick and choose who he loves in this specific, like in one family unit, you know?
Well, I feel like
That I like to an extent it would like I just imagine one of our aunts or uncles being like, yeah, I'll take Sam, but I won't take Sophia.
she doesn't look like enough like our family.
Yeah, I don't look enough like Sam.
She looks too weird.
Oh,
Comment 2. You need to take a cue from your brother. He's assigned to make this child his. He's going to raise it as his. I don't blame your brother one bit for being upset with you. You don't have to like what his wife did, but this seems like an unnecessary punishment to an innocent child. And OP responds, as I said, he made this a lot worse by hiding it all and giving us no warning, no adjustment. It's not like surprising someone with a puppy or something. It's another effing human.
but is that really any of your business?
What?
Like the affair, is that not his kind of business?
I guess like he's making it his business because he wants his brother to have like boundaries up to
Sure.
be respected, but
No, OP's just saying like, oh, he sprung it on us out of nowhere. Why didn't he tell us right when it happened? Like, is it your business to know about the problems in their marriage?
yeah,
You know,
giving us no warning. I mean, I don't
probably
think so.
gave you, probably was worried about how you would react.
Yeah. But even so, like, I don't even know if it, I mean, a question is, Do you think it was a good idea for the brother to say
At all
that his new daughter was a product of an affair?
I think,
It may have just come out anyway, but
yeah, I think it probably would have come out. I don't know if he, you guys might disagree. I don't know if he necessarily had to tell anyone.
I agree.
I think he would have
I don't
been
think he had to
totally
tell
within his
anyone.
rights to keep that kind of to
'Cause
himself.
It kind of protects the daughter as well. from
Yeah.
Stuff like this.
From stuff like this. I'm not sure what his reasoning in telling. Maybe he just wanted to be honest. I don't know.
It's not like a puppy you're expected to embrace with no warning, but there is an update. Basically, I met up with my twin yesterday and we had it out. I called him out on the way he has handled it all, saying it's effed up. He kept me in the dark the way he told me. Tagging me in an Instagram post with his new child was an utter shock. I had no time to process it, and then he basically gives me an ultimatum and cuts me off. It's not right. He defended himself by saying if he told me he was taking her back and taking the child on, I'd probably try to talk him out of it. And he was that vulnerable. He would have listened to me. He said he could see how happy his kids were having a baby brother or sister, and it was the happiest his wife's been in years. So he went along with it for their sake. I said, yeah, I probably would have tried, but ultimately, if he insisted he wanted to do it, I'd support him and would have been a lot more accepting of playing the uncle role. He said he sees where I'm coming from because he feels the same way now that the emotion of her being born has passed away down.
Has gone down.
He's really struggling to bond. He said he loves her, but more because she's a baby and he doesn't feel that bond that he did with the boys. And he's worried it's starting to show. He's pretending to sleep at night when she cries, so his ex gets up to feed her, and he was always up with his boys letting her sleep. He said the times he does feed her, he just sits there and stares. He said he'll also purposely take a long time to go and get shopping and food and just sit there in his car having a cry.
Which is, again, this is now a totally separate issue where this guy has taken on the role of a father that he wasn't, emotionally ready for.
He wasn't emotionally ready for, and I think he feels now the
realization, she
hurt.
cheated on me and had a child with someone else.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, a different issue than OP accepting the kid as an uncle, figure.
He's really depressed and thinks he should get time off work, but knows he can't as the family won't cope with him being out of work. Honestly, that effed me up. He cried. I effing cried too. I feel so bad he's suffering that way, and I now get why he acted the way he did to me. He was trying to convey how happy he is with it all. Now, we never cry. Growing up, our mom hated us crying and told us off if we did. Her attitude was that my dad doesn't cry, and we shouldn't either. By the way, you should never cry because we have full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, but let's discuss. Sophia, what do you think where we're landing?
Well, I think if we could take this whole situation back and brother comes to OP and says, hey, my ex, now married wife again, had a baby with another guy. I'm going to adopt the baby and raise it as my own. I want you to be the uncle and also godparent. Then I think OP could have said something along the lines of, I, of course, will support you, but I want to make sure that you're ready for this. Like, you don't have to take in this child. You don't bear that responsibility.
Yeah, that would have been...
probably,
that would have been sage wisdom. Like, I'm going to support you, whatever you do, but let's just think about this.
Yeah, this is a big responsibility. This kid is not, was conceived through an affair. You were betrayed. You don't owe your wife this role.
And you don't even owe the kid this.
No, this is angel move. And then after that, still emphasizing that you're gonna be there to support if he makes that decision, but also telling him, what could come out of it. That would be, if you could go back in time, that would probably be the best way to go about it.
Yeah, but I still think you can.
But now that we're here, I think you go to him and you say, hey, I'm going to support you. You've made a decision. He's already on the freaking birth certificate.
But he could, if there is
give up parental
known,
right.
If there is knowledge of infidelity, you could take your name off.
However, he knew about it before he put his name on it.
Yeah, but
so
maybe
I don't know how that works.
He could just he didn't really know about it,
He didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
I don't know what his what he can do in terms of like legally with the child, but I think that he absolutely needs therapy. And I think that right now, I don't think you can necessarily tell him what to do, but I think you can offer support as a brother.
Agreed. But we got a little bit more to the story. So after we had our moment, I said I'll meet her, but not yet. I'll probably do it next weekend. He'll come over with the kids so my daughter can meet her too. I said I can't promise I'll be your guardian yet. I need to feel that bond I have with his boys, which he said he gets, but hates the thought that I could take them in, but turn her away.
Yeah.
So as a compromise, my wife's agreed to be her guardian for now so they wouldn't be split up, which works for us until I decide. And some comments. Comment 1, poor brother. I think his body and mind are sending him a lot of messages that he's not listening to. If getting back with her is making him so miserable and depressed, as most people would, he shouldn't be with her. NOP says, for real, every time he looks at the baby, his mind, heart, body, and spirit are probably just like, ugh, oof, ick, ooh. And he just blocks it out and stares at her and then spends part of every day crying in secret. Yeah, I'm going to guess that this isn't going to work out, and he isn't going to be a good dad to this kid if he tries to stick it out. A child of an affair is, sadly, in addition to simply being a child, a constant reminder to the betrayed spouse of the marital indiscretion.
Sam the Caterpillar says his family not accepting the kid or his choice to take it on probably isn't helping with the bonding. Probably not.
Comment 2, you need to have another serious talk with your brother. Tell him to go get therapy now to figure out if he will ever really be able to bond with this baby, because if he can't, it will show no matter how much he tries to fake it. She will feel it, his sons will feel it, and it will F up all the kids. So he needs to figure out that crap ASAP. So if he can't feel for her what he feels for his sons, he can leave before she's attached and aware. Seriously, if he convinces himself he can force it out or fake it and stays, he'll massively F up all 3 kids permanently. And another reply, but most importantly, he also needs to know this isn't his fault. He didn't ask for the situation. He has had it forced upon him and has tried to do the right thing by everyone but himself, and totally at his own expense emotionally, financially, and physically. He needs to know if he wants to throw the hat in, he didn't create the situation. So it's basically like, hey, you can end this for yourself if you want.
Yeah, but I think it's like not a thing. Like it's a thing that the longer he holds off on, the worse it's gonna get.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just gonna get more attached. The baby's gonna get more attached, or he's gonna be more cemented in. It is not a good
Well, if he
situation.
gets more attached, then that's a better situation.
Yeah, but like I mean, in terms of more attached without more physically or like economically attached without necessarily the emotional attachment needed to take care of this baby well.
Agreed.
Oh boy. But we got another story.
Sure do.
Because that's where that one ends.
Mm-hmm.
I think my husband is having an affair. He's been getting flirty messages on Instagram.
He's got the right idea.
His DMs are flooded with the hotties.
Me.
Here's some background. We've been married for 3 years, and we have an almost 2-year-old daughter. Ooh, and there's Keon's head. Our marriage is not without your typical disagreements and moments of humanity, but it is otherwise great. He is a great husband and father, and I have never doubted him or his fidelity. By the way, this comes from user suspicious wife throwaway, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
I'm going to go right now. I'm going.
He's going. So, however, today I picked up his phone to Google something. He has a passcode, but we know each other's passcodes, and his Instagram was open. I don't have one, so I scrolled through his pictures. He has a bunch of us, our daughter, his parents, working out. He is a personal trainer at a gym, and food. Nothing weird or suspicious. But then I saw a message pop up that said, sorry I missed you today. I was in a rush. Let's catch up another time. It was from a girl. Ooh.
Okay.
I'll allow this. I will allow this to continue for now.
I'm the reason we have those.
Facts. It was from a girl who, from the looks of her Instagram, is maybe in her early to mid 20s, very attractive, and goes to his gym. I know this is somewhat wrong, but I couldn't help myself. I looked through their previous messages starting from late October, and it goes like this.
Oh, we'll read
Bear
this
with
together.
me as I go through this timeline.
You want to be the husband?
Yeah, I'll be the husband and you'll be
I'll be
the mysterious stranger.
Freaky deaky strength girl.
Freaky deaky strength girl. Here we go. Husband sends a promotional picture of an event at the gym. Hey, hope you'll make it. We'd love to have you there. Girl.
Hi, looks fun. I don't have any friends who are interested in fitness, but maybe I'll go.
Husband, you should make more friends who are inclined to exercise. Here's my number in case you need anything. Types his number. I checked his text history, which is wrong, I know, and it doesn't look like they've texted or called, but the timestamp on their Instagram inbox history shows that a week later, she restarted or continued the conversation by saying, girl.
Just purchase my ticket!
Awesome. I'm confident it will be a fun night. Then about a week after that, which is 2 nights ago, Friday, is the event. I knew about it before I found these messages as it's an annual event, and I chose not to go this year, but my husband went anyway. He didn't act or dress suspiciously before or after he went out, but based on the timestamp, I found out that after he came home, he messaged her again, and the conversation is this. Husband, hope you enjoyed the event. Let's hang out sometime. Girl.
I did! It was a ton of fun, and yeah, sure.
Great. Want to grab a bite or go bowling? When are you free? Oh.
I'm usually free on the weekends. I'll be at the gym tomorrow. Let's chat then.
Sounds good. And then minutes ago, the girl.
Sorry I missed you today. I was in a rush. Let's catch up another time. Wow, my girl voice is really good.
Oh, yeah. You're a good girl, Keon.
All right.
Anyway, back to the story. After reading those specific messages, I started freaking out. He has not mentioned this girl to me, and although it only seems like they just started being friendly or flirty a couple of days ago, I'm feeling ill just thinking about them being together at the event. I have no reason not to trust my husband, but is this now a reason? Yes. Yes. I would say yes. Do you say yes?
No, I'm still stuck on what you said earlier. Axolotl's still stuck on what you said earlier.
That you're a good girl?
Go ahead.
You do. That was a good girl voice. You were a good girl.
Go ahead. Continue reading.
I just wanted to, I mean, is this now a reason though? Is this, would you not trust? Would you not trust this? I don't think I would trust this.
I don't trust this because
going on a bowling date without telling your partner about it is suspicious.
I thought it was like, oh, all is good because he's just getting hurt at the gym and he just wants to get more of that and all, yeah. But the fact that he's like, let's hang out after the gym. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling.
Let's go bowling is crazy.
That's
like,
crazy work.
There is
like grabbing a bite after the gym is one thing.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, that's a little iffy, but let's go bowling or hang out after the gym with like exclusive activities that are really fun without OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's a group of people,
that's whack.
If it's a group of people from the gym, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it was one-on-one.
Yeah, it does. It seems like
it sounds like
they were
it's
like, let's go to the bowling alley and throw some balls around.
It sounds like it's a date.
Yeah, I would be suspicious of your boyfriend going on dates, yes. So, he is my boyfriend, of course, allowed to have friends of all genders, as am I, but I feel uncomfortable that he gave her his number.
I think it's husband.
I think it was boyfriend, was it? God, it's husband.
Yeah.
It's husband. Yes. This is weird, but I feel uncomfortable that he gave her his number and asked to hang out. She must know he's married with a daughter because of the pictures, but I don't know. Maybe they're into each other. What do you think? Is this a conversation, an affair waiting to happen? And what should I do? Confront him? There's an update. Here is my eye-opening and cathartic update, at least the one I'm allowed within 48 hours. Divorce. Calling it divorce. Thank you all for your helpful replies and advice. I really needed an unbiased opinion to help me sort through my thoughts. I had an awful night's sleep. My husband fell asleep while I was showering, so fortunately or unfortunately, I wasn't able to confront him last night, and unfortunately, I woke up feeling worse. Bear with me as I'm writing this through tears and am very emotional, more so than yesterday after some of your replies calmed me down, and I decided to look at his phone this morning while he was in the shower to see if he had replied to her message, and this is what I found. Husband, in reply to her last message, I'm sorry too, smile emoji. Hope you had a great weekend. Are you free anytime next weekend or this week after 6? Husband, keep up what you're doing. You look great. Girl.
I got sick from being out in the cold on Friday. I'm free Wednesdays or Sat.
Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon.
The fact that she won't even just say like Wednesday I feel like she would say that. Like, when's or sat?
I mean, I feel like I abbreviate Wednesday every time I've ever texted it. Who's got time to type out the entire word Wednesday?
Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday. Sorry if that scared anybody. Sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. And that's great. Does dinner Wednesday at 6:30 work for you?
Thanks. I hope I get better soon too. That time works for me. Will any other members/trainers be joining us? We should make it a group thing.
Oh.
I see the same people at the gym all the time, but I don't really know anyone. Well,
Husband, I hadn't asked anyone else because I wanted to take you on a date to the bowling alley. But I'll hang out with my colleagues occasionally, but not regularly. I had in mind to get to know you better, your gym experiences and such. If that's okay, we could do names a mid-range restaurant.
ah, yes. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sounds good. See you Wednesday at 6:30.
Oh, great. Gives her the address to the restaurant. Be well until then. Ugh. It shows that she's seen the message, but she has yet to reply. But I'm done. I'm done checking messages because it's more than enough to ask him what the F is going on. He's telling her she looks great. He asked her out to this restaurant where the lowest price for an appetizer is $17.
Oh.
He wants to get to know her better. He still hasn't told me about it/her. And some of you are saying she doesn't seem interested, but she agreed to it. Oh, and fun fact, I found out she's 26. I'm shaking and crying, and I still can't even tell if I'm overreacting. He has posted videos of his clients exercising before, describing them as beautiful or hot and fit in the captions. Yeah, but this is not that. This is different.
He hasn't told you anything about this, and he's making exclusive plans with a female.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's over for me. It was over the moment that she goes, "Oh yeah, so
What about
maybe
other
we
people?
make it a group thing." And he goes, "No, I don't want it to be a group thing. I'm trying to go with
maybe
you."
She's trying to suss it out, and maybe because she's trying to be like, oh, let's make it all.
But
the
she's
trainers.
down with it now.
Mm.
That's exactly what
Well,
she was
I think
doing.
she's because this is a trainer, but maybe she's like, don't you have like maybe during the dinner like, don't you have a wife and kid?
Well, it sounded like that was her thought, but like I don't know. It seems like maybe she's
okay,
into it.
Before we read into
He
it,
did kind of cover though, like it was like, oh, I just want to get to know about your gym experience. Like
I don't know, man. That's weird.
Yeah.
You can do that at the gym.
at the very least, he is certainly trying to do something nefarious here. That's what it's reading.
You can get to know each other at the gym. It's not all grunts and yeah,
Yeah.
one more rep, one
Also-
more rep. It's like no, hey, like
Yeah.
where did you go to the gym before this, or like what did you do in college? Yeah, it's
There's
like,
also no reason that you can't learn about her gym experience in a group of people
that's what I'm saying.
who would all be talking about
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
So, my husband will be home in about 4 hours. My daughter is at my mom's, and I just returned from work, reliving what I discovered this morning as I type this. I truly do not know how to approach this situation non-confrontationally to get the honest truth out of him. I'm that livid and confused. I never thought I would be here in this dilemma, but here I am. Just thought I'd update. How should I approach him now? And there are comments. Let's get into them. Comment 1, I have several friends that have been professional trainers for 20 plus years in a competitive market, New York City. None of them would blur or cross the boundaries to gain new clients by asking to spend private time away from the gym for bowling and getting together.
Yeah, the bowling thing is
Yeah.
just so weird.
Bowling is the most like, once you're an adult, that's a date thing. You don't do that for just kicks.
Yeah, I know trainers who are like, all right, after we work out, we're gonna go to like the closest, restaurant, and as a group, like hang out and have a good time.
Right. As a group.
And I would invite my partners or my partner, if you're the trainers, like the trainers would invite their partners.
Yeah.
but you would invite your partner to hang out with the group.
My wife would be there with me.
My wife.
So, your husband is asking this lady for a date. I'm sorry if that is hard to read. What is extra creepy and disturbing on an entirely other level is the age difference. For a guy in his 50s to be asking out a woman in her early to mid 20s is upsetting. I'm sorry to say this, but it seems as if you might have missed some red flags, as his behavior usually doesn't just happen. Also, the fact that you want to find some logical explanation indicates you're in denial about the reality of your relationship. No matter how this turns out, I would sincerely think about seeing a relationship counselor, therapist to help you develop a stronger sense of self-esteem. There is a reply that says, agree, I was a personal trainer for 10 years. Crossing a line from professional in the gym to hanging out outside the gym is a big no-no. Unless he's expecting her to commit to training and cut him a check while dining or bowling, this doesn't look good. And we have an update.
Straight into it.
Straight into the update, folks. Thank you all for your helpful advice and supportive/sympathetic words. I want to provide an update as to what transpired since my last post. I wasn't sure if I wanted to post an update because I don't think I'm handling this well or valiantly. I didn't pack up his clothes or call a divorce lawyer or do anything but feel sorry for myself. So I'm a bit embarrassed, which it's okay, OP. Don't be embarrassed. We love you. But I've decided writing it out might help. This is a long story, and this is what happened. Monday night, I waited for my husband to come home after work, and he walked in around 9. He was acting totally normal, and I waited for him to change into his relaxation clothes to be less confrontational. Our daughter was at my mom's. When he sat across from me at the dining room table, we just talked casually, and then I said, "Hey, so I was Googling XYZ on your phone, and your Instagram was open. While I was looking through your pictures, this girl messaged you. Is she new to the gym?" He looked confused, and I tried to look neutral because I didn't want him gauging responses based on my reaction. After a few seconds, he was like, "Oh yeah, like her? This stranger's name? She's not really that new, but she's been going there a lot recently, and I wanted to get to know what she was about and how she's been fitting in at the gym. I know my husband is friendly and will often randomly chat up strangers, but like you guys know, I felt weird about this. So I basically told him I saw their messages to meet up on Wednesday and asked if she was going to be a new client of his. He is an independent trainer at this gym. The gym has its own membership, but he works on his own in that space. At first he said maybe, and then when I pointed out that she didn't mention interest in personal training in the messages, he was like, "Oh, well, no, she wants to be a gym member, not a client of mine." I asked him why he didn't mention her or the dinner to me, and he said he didn't think there was anything to mention.
But that
Lie. That is
That's
a lie.
A big That's a. Sorry.
Yeah, where is it? Do the thing.
From afar. I want to do it in the thing.
Liar. Whose pants are on fire?
Already burned off.
So at this point, I dropped it. I felt like I was handling this badly and that I was grasping at straws for the sake of continuing this conversation. But it's like, it's because you were giving him the out.
Yeah.
You were confronting him and then being like, but you're probably just doing this because she's a client, right? Or it's like you were, but it was probably just for this, right?
You gave, like, the way you interrogated him, it's like you gave him the options. You're like, all right, in the dialogue, you get, this is your client, right? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, that is what she is. Yeah.
And she's trying to be part of, like, she's going to be your client. Yes or no?
Yeah, no.
But, like, she's going to be a member of the gym. So, like, no, but, like, yeah.
And maybe we'll just go bowling once. Maybe once we'll go bowling.
Trying to get her to be a client.
It's a great forearm workout. That's all it is. We were trying to hit forearms.
I'm trying to show her how to use a shake weight.
So we did not speak about it for the rest of the night, except when he asked me randomly before bed, "So what are you mad about?" I asked him why he thought I was mad, and he just said I've been acting strange ever since he mentioned the girl. I said it was nothing, and that was that. Wednesday night, I decided to trust my husband and keep my faith in him and did not bring it up at all the next day. Wednesday morning, I asked if he's still going out to meet this girl, and he says, "Yeah, and I might go out with some of the other trainers." Again, I decided to be trusting because he's my husband, and why would I doubt every word he's saying? Wednesday night came, and I tried so hard not to think about what they're talking about or doing, etc. I kept reminding myself that he didn't lie to me, so it's not fishy or weird.
He lied to you already. He already been lying to you.
It's like
He's been lying.
You're doing some
Come on.
mental gymnastics here to come to that conclusion, I think.
I think it's OP trying to not jump to the conclusion here, but
yeah, it's like it's the reason that you gave him all of his responses when you confronted him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's keep going. But then 9:30 p.m. rolls around and I'm freaking out on the inside. So I text him, "Hey, hope your meeting's going well. Are you going to be home soon?" He replies 45 minutes later saying, "Yep, I'm in a cab right now." Him coming in at 11 is not unusual. Sometimes he works until 10. Sometimes he hangs out with long-term clients who are always men, however. When he gets home, I ask him if he had a good time and what they talked about, and if she was liking the gym and wanted to be a client. I was trying to sound like I assumed it was professional. All he told me was that they talked about her eating/exercise lifestyle, his clients, and travel. Again, I decided not to press the issue. Thursday, something still wasn't sitting right with me that next day, and I checked his text messages that evening while he was exercising. So much for faith and not checking messages, right? I mean, well, but you do have kind of a good context to base that off of.
Yeah.
It's not good, but
it's the gut.
Yeah.
Your instinct is telling you something's not right in the air. So
and it's true.
Trust your gut.
It's your husband
trust your
should
gut.
be taking women on dates to the bowling alley.
She should be taking you on dates. to the bowling alley.
Exactly. Like, if she was just involved in this, if it was like, oh yeah, you want to go bowling? You can meet like my family. Sure, whatever. I'll take my wife and my kid to the bowling alley and we can maybe talk fitness. Because it is true. There is to some level, like if you're gonna have a good
relationship
with a physical personal trainer, or like you do need like there needs to be a trust there. There needs to be a level of chemistry.
It also needs to be like a personal level, and I get that. That's why I said, like, I know some trainers or some people who will literally hang out with their clients, but it would be like their clients, not a single client.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, all the trainers and some of the people who are there, they all go to the nearest like restaurant or like local bar and like hang out with all their families. Like a little get together, not just two people. Does it make sense?
Exactly. More than just the one-on-one at the very least. Here's what I found in the messages. The girl on Wednesday evening.
Hey, I'm on my way, but maybe a few minutes late.
Okay, I'll be there in 5. And then him at 12:06 a.m. on what is now technically Thursday, about an hour and a half after he got home. Hey, hope you got home safely. Thanks for sharing time with me. I really enjoyed your company much more than I would have imagined. I hope I can see you soon. How about Saturday? And then girl responds, yeah, this is not good.
Not good. 8:30 a.m. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks again for dinner. I have a potluck on Saturday, but maybe another day.
And when I checked again about an hour later to see if he answered, the messages were deleted.
Oh.
It's over.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
That gutted me. I was really upset by what I found, and I decided to speak to someone, not a marriage counselor yet. So I called my brother and told him everything. One of the reasons I wrote on here was because the anonymity makes it easy to admit embarrassing things, like your husband might be having an affair.
Yep.
But I feel like I need to tell someone close to me at least. My brother basically told me that he thinks my husband has a crush on this woman and that either she doesn't know he's married or is looking to make friends at the gym. He doesn't wear a wedding band when he trains, by the way, and needs to not be friends with my husband. Oh, and I need to shut it down. I know crushes happen, theoretically, but the idea was crushing me. So this morning, Friday, I told my husband I want to talk to him after work, and so when he gets home in a bit, I'm going to tell him everything I know, but more importantly, how I feel about this situation. And we do have an update. Honestly, what would you, I don't know if I would, I think I would at this point.
Just call him out. The fact that he messaged again, he had those messages on his phone again and then deleted them. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, it's like you need to not be soft about it. If you're going to confront him now, it needs to be like hey, are you trying to cheat on me with this girl? I know I've seen the messages. You know that they were bad. You deleted them.
You deleted them.
You know they were bad.
If I were OP, I would have screenshotted them.
Right.
Yeah, just to have the evidence.
Yeah.
So
just to have it.
I hope she did, but if not, you at least have the mental image in your head.
Yeah, you have the evidence of I know what I saw. You can't lie to me.
And then get the girl's Instagram or what? Oh, she doesn't have Instagram, but get the girl's information.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm his wife.
Might be time to drop the big W on her.
The fact that in the message, like when he told OP, oh yeah, dinner was great. We talked about this and travel, but not about you or my daughter.
Right. Huge red flag.
Yeah.
Here's the update from that night. I told my husband everything, that I saw the text messages too, that I think he has a crush on this girl and that I am unhappy with it. And if he is committed to the marriage and his wife, then he will stop all communication. At first, he kept saying over and over that they're just new friends, that why would she be interested anyway, and they weren't romantic on basically the dinner that they went on, and that she talks to other trainers at the gym, so it's not like the two of them are only friends with each other. So I pointed out that he pursued a date with her, didn't tell me about her on his own like he should if she was an innocent friend. He texts her flirty things like about enjoying her company, he asked her out again, and then he deleted the messages. And all that stuff, and that is all inappropriate and just flat out deception, lies, and wrong in a marriage. He kept on saying that he was just deleting stuff off his phone indiscriminately.
Shut up.
No.
Shut up.
No. Stupid. Who do you think? Do you think that? Come on.
Shut up. That's pathetic.
That he doesn't question me about stuff on my phone. Well, maybe it's because she's not cheating on you.
You're the
What an idiot this guy is. And that I need to trust him and the kind of person he is. He's always been a kind person who would give a shirt off his back to help a friend, and he wasn't serious about seeing her again. Dude.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. You're making me upset.
It's like the most pathetic thing to be like, oh, it's not like she was interested. It's like, yeah, but you wanted her to be. If she was interested.
Yeah, this guy's...
Yeah. So that's when I lost it. And I just yelled at him that is a bold-faced lie. That he is cheating by being attracted to someone and pursuing this attraction by spending time with her alone and flirting, sending her texts at midnight, and that I never signed up to marry a liar or an unfaithful man, and that I was going to go for a separation. He didn't even say say anything to that. No reply, nothing. I felt so defeated that I just started crying and I stopped speaking. And he even kept trying to hug me and console me. I didn't even want him to touch me, so I asked point blank, do you like her? And he said that yes, he does. That's when he broke down crying too and kept apologizing over and over and saying he feels guilty. I asked him if they slept together or did anything physical, and he completely denied it. I don't think they did, but why all of a sudden feel guilty? And my trust is broken, so I asked. And he just kept saying that he thought she was pretty and a nice person at the gym, and he liked to hang around her. We talked about it for a long time. I wanted to know all of the details, so I asked if he told her he was married. He said he didn't tell her explicitly, of course, but she saw his Instagram, so she knows. I told him again how much it hurts me and that they can't be friends because of this, that he needs to delete her on Instagram and stop texting her. And by the way, even if you somehow accidentally delete all of the apps you use to watch us on your phone, you can still listen to full episodes with stories like this. All you have to do is go to your favorite Spotify, your favorite Apple Podcast, your favorite podcasting application,
Plenty of stuff out there.
and search OK Storytime.
We'll be on it, that's for sure.
And there you can listen to the complete archives.
48 days and it's still counting.
48 consecutive days. So there is some story left here. Honestly, I think we're probably both on the same page here. It's time to leave.
Listen, I am a man of, or I'm a person of second chances. I believe in second chances, and this is a big screw up, but they have a daughter. They do have a daughter.
Oh, I forgot about the child.
There's a child. The trust is rough. This is rough, especially since he denied it all at first and then still went with it, and then now being caught in the act. Because how long would he have gone for this if he wasn't caught?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know if I'd be able to be like, well, when you find someone who is down to like hook up with you, then you're just going to cheat on me with that person.
And then we do not know if this is the first time that he's tried to pursue something like this, second time, whatever.
For the sake of the child, try to work through it in therapy, in counseling of some kind.
It's if you're willing to put in the work.
It's definitely a mess right now.
Yeah. I feel like let emotions, emote. Let them have their time, and then once things subside, really talk it out and see where you go for your daughter.
Yeah,
that's where I say. But
I
if
agree.
If it's divorce. If the trust is completely broken and you cannot repair it, then divorce is the way.
Then the deed is done.
Yeah.
Let's finish it. He said that he would text her that they can't meet up anymore as a final text, but that he didn't want to delete her as a friend on Instagram because it's more work related. That made me feel still uncomfortable, so I told him he doesn't need to be friends with her as she is not even a client. I want to trust him that it was just a crush, and even if he can't quit working at this specific gym, he can quit communicating outside of it. We decided to think about marriage counseling, which you should do. He thinks we can work on strengthening our marriage, spending more time together without outside help, and I kind of agree. I don't know what marriage counseling would tell us about the situation that can help us, but I'm not opposed to going. So that is where we are now, and that is the end of that story.
I think it's just see where this goes between you both. The fact that he didn't remove her, it's just one person. You can remove one person from your life. So
I'm very eyebrows raised at that.
I would keep my eyes on him. And like I said, I want to see the messages that you send her saying the final goodbye or what have you, saying, hey, my wife doesn't think our relationship is appropriate, which it's not. I need to, cut you off from my life. I'm sorry that you cannot go to this gym. Here are some recommendations at other gyms. Something like that. So, there are more than just one gym out there. So
it's true.
There's more than just one gym. So
I would,
that's what I would do. The fact he's like, she's not even a client, but I want her to be a member of this gym. No,
that doesn't make any sense.
Nah, the fact that you're not even trying to go 110% towards your wife and what she's doing or what she's asking you, not good.
I set boundaries with my husband's cousin's wife. It turned everyone against me.
Oh, no. Cousin wife.
Jane, the person we are trying to distance ourselves from, Bill, her husband.
Okay.
Those are the characters in this story.
Let's hear the story. I'm
Long
locked in.
Story. Me and my husband used to be friends with his cousin and his wife. We usually get along, but over the years, they have become more pushy and mean.
Oh.
Jane constantly wants us to hang out with her, and whenever we say no, she gets upset and will be like, I saw you hanging out at so-and-so's house. Why can't you hang out with us?
Oh, why can't you invite me?
Pick me energy. Come on, get out of here.
By the way, this comes from Whispers of Disease, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, she got upset that my daughter has a best friend that isn't her son.
Ooh.
She got upset because I didn't want to hang out during the lockdown.
Ooh.
She also would randomly just decide to show up at my house when I would ignore her messages. Ooh.
Big oof.
She also has family that live in my neighborhood, and I would get a snarky, I see you had fun outside today. You should tell me when you're going for a walk so I can come.
Why don't you, like, I don't know, do your own things?
Yeah, why don't you have your own life?
Yeah, maybe what you can do, if all right, a little advice. If people aren't inviting you to things, create things and invite other people.
Yes, that is the advice that we have taken.
Yep.
And implemented. And you know what? It's working.
It's working.
Now we have a friend group. What?
Boom.
But every time I am around Jane, she either ignores me, puts me down, or tries to shame me for not having as much stuff as her.
Yeah.
The final straw was my child's birthday party. My husband wasn't able to be at the party because of work, so I didn't have his backup. Jane let her male child be pushy towards my daughter's best friend. Jane's son was interested in my daughter's bestie, so Jane encouraged her son to call her his girlfriend.
That's not how that works.
Stop.
You gotta ask first.
Jane and Bill also called my daughter selfish because she got upset when her son kept taking her birthday gifts away from her. Jane also loudly bragged about her 2 natural births while not so discreetly throwing shade at me because my daughter was born by C-section. Well, joke's on you, frickin' Jane, because your kids can't kill Macbeth. You don't know?
Oh, because it was like...
You don't know the plot of the Scottish play?
I mean, it's been so long.
Get a load of this guy.
They had C-section back then?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I have PTSD diagnosed by a professional. I felt like Jane and Bill spent the whole time my husband was at work trying to make the party miserable for me and my daughter. I did tell them to leave my daughter alone and to not parent my kid, but they just acted like I didn't say anything. So naturally, my husband and I figured we'd just let the friendship slowly pass away. Jane, however, is persistent. She showed up at our house unannounced on Mother's Day to give me a gift. She originally wanted to buy me a custom ring, but I refused to tell her my ring size. And I firmly told her I did not want her spending money on me.
I think
she's trying to buy your friendship.
Yeah, she's trying to buy the friendship. And
That's
then
the only
like,
way
I
that
feel
she,
so bad that she bought me an expensive ring. Now I have to spend time with her.
I think she's probably bringing up all of these money things because she wants you to think that she's this cool, person with a lot of money and wealth and stuff.
Money.
Because that's how she thinks you get friends.
Mm-hmm.
I also told her
Yikes.
repeatedly not to show up at her house unless she's invited or asked to come over first. At this point, I have stopped responding to any of Jane's messages. We hung out at my husband's grandma's house with another cousin and his wife and kid. Basically, everyone that was there got an angry message from Jane or Bill because they weren't invited. Basically, everyone that was there has been treated badly by Bill and Jane. They also showed up to the house the next day uninvited and basically complained about us not inviting them the previous day. You gotta get a hint.
Are so
Annoying.
The thing is, when someone doesn't invite you to things, you can't be like,
invite me. You can't be invite me.
you can't just say, oh, invite me. Why didn't you invite me? Invite me. Unless you have like a really great relationship with them.
Yeah.
And you like have no idea why they wouldn't.
And they
invite
might
you.
just say, I don't like you enough to invite you.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes,
you know what? That kind of sucks to hear, but
yeah.
that's the truth, that not everyone gels.
It's like maybe an easier way to look at it is if you have a crush on someone and they just have shown no interest in you and you keep chasing them and chasing them and chasing them. Just embarrassing.
Yeah. But what if you've like talked like, oh, like, I have a little bit of interest, but like no one's, made a move yet.
That's okay then. I got a message from Jane that said, we saw you at grandma-in-law's, but she used her first name. What time works for you guys to come over tomorrow?
No time.
No time. But hey, they're employing the next phase of making friends. creating their own events.
That's true.
At least they're inviting
Yeah.
people to their place instead of being like, why didn't you invite me to my place?
Her son's name misses you guys a lot, and he won't stop crying because you didn't invite him yesterday.
Stop
How
making
did
me
he
feel
stop
bad.
telling him? Jane only knew that we were there because she has her friends stalk the other cousin's wife's social media. Today, I caught Jane's cousin walking by my house slowly while trying to look into the windows of my house. I made eye contact with her and she power walked away. At least I know who's watching me now. It's hard for me right now because I can't exist in my own house and neighborhood without fear of being watched, and for Jane showing up in my neighborhood and its park. Jane has always used the excuse, well, I really like this neighborhood and I have a family close by, whenever she randomly shows up at my house or when I see her walking around my neighborhood. Not obvious at all. I'm so close to having a nervous breakdown. Whenever I think too hard about this, I have really bad panic attacks. The last time we confronted Jane and Bill on their behavior, they went and said really mean and hurtful things to everyone in the family that me and my husband are close with. I don't want to move. I really love my neighborhood and my neighbors, minus Jane's cousin. Edit to add an update. I ordered security cameras for my house so I can prove to myself that people are looking in through my windows. I also told myself if I get another I know/saw you were at so-and-so's house message, me and my husband are just going to ask Jane how she knew we were there. Who told you that, Jane? I have also advised my family to block Jane on social media because the last time I blocked Jane.
You need
Yeah.
Jane is like just working her little tendrils into every part of OP's life. You need to put up boundaries, and then everyone else needs to put up boundaries
Yes, because that's how she's getting all of her information.
Yeah, dude, she has her little birdies everywhere.
Because the last time I blocked Jane, she contacted my family to ask why I blocked her. I don't think it's necessary to get a restraining order yet, and I know Jane would just lie and say she was concerned about us. And there is an update, folks. Any other thoughts, though, Sam?
I mean, I think putting as much space between you and Jane as possible is going to be the move, because a person like Jane is not a person that gets hints.
No, clearly not. Clearly not.
Which also maybe you have to be a little bit more direct with Jane about the fact that you don't want to spend time with her.
Yeah, you just say, hey, I don't like you.
Yeah. And that kind of sucks, but is necessary.
Yeah.
I think we gotta go direct to the source. Sorry, I don't like you and I don't want to spend time with you.
That is tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
It's called
I
a
need to do
hard
that.
truth.
You need to do that?
Yeah. But the thing is that I need to do it to a lesser extent.
Who?
Like, it's not, no, I'm not going to tell you. No, because I don't want that to go anywhere. I'm just saying, I just need to do it on, I don't want to do solo hangouts. I'll tell you later. But, it's hard to say, I don't want to hang out with you one-on-one.
Try to read her like a book.
I once told someone
Yeah.
that they were a friend group friend.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it went so terribly.
Yeah, I don't think I could say that. I think that is a really harsh thing to say.
It was too harsh. I
Yeah.
think it was.
I think it's a really hard thing to say.
And I made an enemy for a lifetime. That person does not like me at all.
The problem is some people, when you ask to hang out, they show you, I've had people where I try to hang out with them. They always cancel. They, never made time. So I was like, okay, this person doesn't want to hang out with her.
Yeah.
But then there's some people who you do that to and they don't get the hint. Jane is one of them. How do you set boundaries with the person who does not get hints? It's without being really mean. And that's OP's problem right now.
You just say I can't. Oh, yeah. Well, that one is that one's. I think you don't. I think you don't have to set those kind of boundaries unless it's gotten to this kind of level.
Yeah, sure.
If it's just oh, do you have time to hang out? Or I'm busy.
You just keep doing that forever.
And then you invite them to friend group things.
Yeah.
And you just keep saying you're busy.
I could do
forever.
that, yes.
And you'll eventually, maybe someday, at one point,
get the hint.
Catch a hint.
That I just can't hang out with them one-on-one.
Can't. Yeah. You just don't have time. You don't.
I don't have time. The thing is, it's
there's other people I want to hang out with.
Yeah. I have very limited hours.
Yeah, and you're a very popular person.
And I have a lot of friends.
So many friends.
Too many friends. Yeah. Too many hours.
Yeah,
so little time.
There's only and you gotta take up the best spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ian, Chris, top tier.
Top.
Top tier.
Update. Last week I got a call and my caller ID said private number.
Ooh.
I've never seen that before and I was curious because I just put a thing on my phone to block robocalls, so I answered. It was Jane and her son. I hung up as soon as I recognized their voices. They called back and her son left a voicemail saying he missed me and my daughter and he wanted to see us soon. I was really upset that I had hurt their son's feelings. He's only 3 and he doesn't understand what's going on. You didn't hurt her son's feelings. He's 3. He
Yeah.
doesn't know what's going on. She hurt her son's feelings.
He is barely conscious.
This is what happened. It's not that, he was like, Mommy, why does OP never invite us to
No.
things? I'm upset about this. Jane went to her son and said,
Your aunt never, your cousin never invites you to anything, and she hates you.
Yeah.
She thinks you're the worst.
That 3-year-old has
That's
no
what- yeah.
idea.
Yesterday, I was having a panic attack in my car, and then a very familiar car pulled into my driveway. It was Jane and Bill.
Mm.
I just started the car and drove away. My husband was home with my daughter, and he let them inside. Why? My husband was asked what was wrong with me, and he told them I was just having a moment. When I asked my husband why, he didn't just say I was running an errand. He just told me he wasn't lying to cover for me.
Okay, red flag, husband.
My husband said they were on their best behavior, but I am pissed that they once again showed up at the house unannounced. My husband said Bill said they would leave if it was a bad time. Yeah.
It is a bad time.
You showed up unannounced.
It's always a bad time when you're here.
We don't want you here. I was having a major panic attack and I had a mental breakdown, but my husband told me I'm overreacting. Red flag. He's upset with them, but he's more willing to forgive. I made it clear to my husband that I don't want Jane and Bill to continue to show up without warning. I asked my husband to tell them not to show up without warning again. My husband told me that he doesn't want Jane and Bill back in our lives like they were before, but he's okay with visiting with them as long as it's on our terms. They don't care about your terms. They're going to show...
They've mowed straight over any terms you've tried to create.
He's hopeful that Jane and Bill learn their lesson. In what way would they have possibly learned their lesson? You let them inside.
They've gotten what they've wanted.
They're like vampires.
Yeah, you've already let them in. You invited them inside. I'm not so hopeful, on the other hand. I don't know if I'm wrong in feeling slightly betrayed by my husband. I think you're right.
No, you are all left.
He and Bill are really close, and Jane won't let Bill visit with anyone unless she's there. I'm afraid my husband will want me to reconcile, but I don't want to go through another cycle of Jane mistreating me and then gaslighting me when I get upset. There is a second update.
Oh
folks.
my God. Exhausting. Bill and Jane
Bill and Jane are the worst.
They're like little cockroaches, like social cockroaches that just keep popping up and popping up.
Kimberly Fine says, to them, those times just look like really round holes they're going to shove their square pegs into anyway. Yes.
True.
Yeah, it's true. Nina Nielsen, I would seriously consider divorce because husband doesn't care about OP's well-being on our terms. You let them, and she had to leave her own driveway. I don't know if we're in divorce territory yet, but I do think we're in like therapy territory.
It is a red flag. It is a red flag.
A huge red
if this
flag.
is indicative of larger things in the relationship, then I think it's probably a bad idea.
I agree. Yes. Because he's totally not listening to you, and he literally told you that you're overreacting.
Yeah.
When you had a panic attack. But there is an update.
Let's get this update.
My in-laws, 66 female and 43 female, are pressuring me, 29 female, to reconcile with another family member, 23 female, 26 male, that has treated me horribly in the past. I feel like I'm tearing the family apart. So I posted about these people that have treated me horribly, codename Bill and Jane. If you want the whole story, you can see the other post. The TLDR is that they don't respect my boundaries, try to convince my husband I was crazy, and worst of all, they tried to ruin my child's birthday by calling her names and trying to set off my PTSD. I cut all contact, but they have randomly shown up my house, sometimes with stuff for my daughter, and they have called my phone from a private number after I blocked them. So Canadian Thanksgiving was last weekend. I am really close to my grandma-in-law. She was going to host a Thanksgiving dinner at her house. We talked about it for weeks, and I was excited to go. A week before, grandma-in-law texted me, "Hey, Bill found out about Thanksgiving, and since you can't get along, you should probably not come."
What? Why can't Bill not come?
I'm sorry. No.
No way, Jose.
You have to honor who you invited first. It's not whoever was not invited second.
I don't like this.
So before Thanksgiving, my husband got a message like, I wish you guys could just put all this behind you so you could come. My husband had work that day and I stayed home. The day after, my husband was basically told by his grandma that we should come over and visit. This visit was going well until grandma-in-law and my husband's aunt started guilt-tripping us about not coming to Thanksgiving. They said it was sad because my husband and Bill were so close in the past, and it was heavily implied that I was keeping them apart. At one point, grandmother-in-law said to me, I really don't understand why you can't just suck it up. But then she corrected herself and said something like, I understand you don't want to be treated horribly, and I just wish the family could get along. Do you?
I mean,
do you understand? You just said it. You just said, I understand why you don't want to be treated horribly.
yeah, but what it sounds like is like, oh, I understand you broke your leg, but I still want you to run the marathon. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like
I
you
get
then
that
you
you
don't
broke your
understand
leg.
that I
You
broke
don't.
my leg.
You don't understand what that entails.
Yeah.
I ended up excusing myself to go to the bathroom to cry. Grandmother-in-law is aware of all the negative behavior that has been going on. I've always been close to her, and I feel kind of hurt by what she said, rightfully so. Since my last post, they have shown up at our house again when we were not home to drop off a coloring book for my child. I drove past Jane one time, and when she saw me, she gave me the middle finger. Bill and Jane also followed me into a local event and tried to sit next to me and tried getting my child's attention. But I got up and moved away from them. They had a stroller, so I just sat somewhere that was not accessible to them.
Bill and Jane are the most persistent
Stalkers.
people ever.
They're freaking stalking
yeah,
her.
they're literally stalking.
I also feel guilty for not really explaining to Bill and Jane why I cut contact. They always start an argument every time I decide to stand up for myself. I feel like this is going to affect my relationship with grandmother-in-law in the future as well. I've done my best to explain to grandmother-in-law why I can't be around Bill and Jane. I don't know what to do moving forward. I want to be able to spend time with grandmother-in-law without being guilt-tripped about it by Bill and Jane. I also am afraid that Bill and Jane will eventually turn the whole family against me. And there is a third and final update.
Oh, boy.
I think they've already succeeded in turning the family against you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
your grandmother, who you said you were the closest to, is already on their side.
well, I think it's more like, here, this is my theory. My theory is the entire family realizes how crazy Bill and Jane are.
Yeah.
And OP is a little bit more rational. And so having the more rational person make allowances for the crazy people might create more smoothness in the family dynamic. So it's like, I'm going to ask the person who can change the behavior too, rather than the person who's crazy and can't change the behavior.
Sure.
You know?
I think that's what the grandmother's saying.
I think
She's
that's
like,
what
you
the-
should just deal with it.
But it's like, but you're not the one who has to deal with it. How
Yeah.
about protect me from this
Yeah.
craziness? Donna Granger says restraining order is on the way. We're getting some fast food. We're getting some Amazon Prime delivery. Toki says divorce the whole family. We're nearing that. We're nearing that point.
Update 3.
Update 3. Hit me with it.
I'd like to think that me and my husband have achieved victory here. Okay.
Let's go. Hopefully, good update. Let's see.
Bill and Jane have left me the heck alone, and Jane is ignoring my husband whenever she sees him in public. A win is a win. But you know what else is a win?
What's a win? Fia, onomatopoeia.
Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. That's a win if I've ever heard of it.
Darn tootin', Vlad Putin.
But there is a little bit left to the story, and I think we've already discussed. So let's finish her off. Bill will talk to my husband and have friendly conversations with him. The last time I saw Jane, we were both driving and she gave me the middle finger, so I'd like to think they hate us now and will hopefully leave us the heck alone. They're still crap talking us to other family members, but it's like everyone in the whole family understands why we cut contact with them. Jane is now telling people that she was emotionally mistreated by me and that I am an unfit mother and I am ruining my child's development. I'm just so happy the phone calls have stopped and they have stopped showing up at my house. And that's the end of that story.
All right. Well, it seems like it was somewhat resolved.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
That's, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
For how long?
Who's to say?
Who's
man?
to say?
Who's to say? My husband left our children unsupervised, but refuses to admit the reason why.
Why?
He refuses to admit.
Dang it.
My husband is 43 and I'm 31. We've been married for 7 years and have a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old. My husband left our children alone and he refuses to admit to it or tell me where he was. I'm furious, enraged, and my husband keeps telling me I'm making a big deal about nothing. By the way, this comes from Suitable Mission 7422. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So this just happened this weekend. I'm on the board of directors for a local nonprofit organization. I had to attend an event for that organization this past Saturday, and I was gone for most of the day. My husband was supposed to be home with our kids. I texted him a few times and he responded. When I called around midday, he didn't respond, but that's not very unusual. Shortly after that, I got a call from my mom. She said my son had just called, and when she asked him what he and his sister were doing, he said they were both watching TV. When she asked where their dad was, he said his dad wasn't there. My mom asked him several other questions, and from my son's responses, she believed he was telling the truth and that my husband wasn't there and that there was no adult there at all. She said he didn't seem scared to be alone or worried about where his dad was at. He just called her to chat. He has a tablet designed for children with pre-programmed contacts that he can call. It's only a few people, just family members.
Dude, he's a resilient 5-year-old. He's like,
like,
yeah,
"Hey."
Dad's out, but what's up with you, Grammy?
He's like, I'm doing pretty good. I'm holding a baby right now.
Yeah.
We're fine.
He
Watch
goes,
this-
baby babe.
We're
what's
watching
the babe?"
KCIW. I left the event immediately and began texting and calling my husband repeatedly. He didn't respond to my first several attempts. It took him about 10 minutes. I was halfway home at that point to respond. I was so confused, so worried, really mad, and I asked him where he was. He said he was at home. I told him our son had just told his grandmother that he was home alone with his baby sister watching TV about 15 minutes ago. My husband denied it, and I told him I was too upset to talk and drive. When I got home, I checked on the kids right away, and they were both fine. I asked my husband again, where was he? He said he was home the entire time. He didn't know what our son was talking about, but he must have just been confused since he had gone to the basement to do some laundry. I ran down to the basement. It was the same load of laundry I'd thrown in the dryer the night before. He didn't do any laundry when I was gone. I asked my husband why my son would be confused about whether his dad was home or not. Where in our home would he have gone, and for how long for our son to think his dad wasn't home? That doesn't make sense with a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old. You wouldn't leave them unattended that long. Why was he nowhere to be found when my mom asked my son to go check certain areas of the house? I begged my husband to just admit it, to stop treating me like an idiot, and to stop accusing our son of lying. Just tell me the truth, because being lied to right to my face is so incredibly maddening. He insists he was home, but he can't come up with any believable story of where he was at or what he was doing that time.
What does he say?
He's claiming that he was in the basement doing laundry.
Okay, but is that story changing? Did she not say, but the load is the same load before I
She
left?
said it was the same load I'd thrown in the dryer the night
Yes.
before. He didn't do any laundry when I was gone.
Oh, I
So
think
we
the
know
next
that's a lie.
sentence says what he's saying.
He insists he was home. The way he answers me when I ask him about this and demand truthful answers is so dismissive. When I tell him, you left our children alone, he quickly says, no, I didn't. So anyway. What? I'm sorry. I mean, if someone's accusing you of that, if you didn't actually do it, you'd be like, I swear I was like, I'm so sorry I'm so sorry that our son thought I wasn't there. And I'll make sure that I'm more like you would.
Yeah, but
We wouldn't just say, so anyway.
and I'm not blaming OP, but if OP is maybe screaming, which I understand, she's upset. Maybe it's just like
Yeah.
people deal with receiving a lot of charge, and maybe it's just like too much. It's like I was here, and I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possibly. I am convinced he was gone. We don't have a Ring camera, but at least one of our neighbors does. I'm so upset about this that I'm tempted to ask our neighbor for the Ring footage. I had to go out of my car and scream and cry because I got so upset. Of course, I didn't want my kids to see my reaction. I can't put into words how upset I am about the fact that I know he must have really left them alone, but have no proof and am being treated like I'm just a paranoid nutcase of a mother/woman by him.
I wanted to
And
say
there is an update.
I wasn't trying to be dismissive. I was trying to paint a whole
Yeah,
picture of it, but I
sure,
do
sure.
want to say that you're upset and worried about your children, and you deserve for your anger to be received and to be assured, and for you to not be made crazy.
And also, it seems like potentially given that she just said she went to the car to go like scream and cry, I don't know how much of that was actually like that emotion was brought out when she was inside the house because she might have been wanting to keep it kind of cool for the kids.
Oh.
So it might
The
not
way
have been
she-
all of that like anger and stuff.
But also, it seemed the way she was.
She was
saying
still
she was
making
yelling, yeah.
accusations. Yeah. Update. Last weekend, my husband left our 5-year-old and 9-month-old home alone while I was gone and then refused to admit it or provide a plausible explanation. Since then, we've had many arguments about it. I've been living in a constant state of anger and frustration. I don't want to fight about it anymore, but I couldn't help it, and I kept bringing it up again and again. I couldn't lay low and pretend to get over it while I waited for him to do it again and catch him in whatever was going on. I also knew that demanding he tell me the truth wasn't going to get me anywhere. Since he'd been refusing to talk and deflecting for days, all it was doing was making me enraged and feel like I was about to have a brain aneurysm. I told him to hand me his phone so I could check his location at the time. He refused. He said he wouldn't do it and that it was a violation of his privacy. He won't be treated that way, and refuses to give in to my delusions. You think I enjoy being in a situation where I have to beg my husband to show me his phone so I can see where he was at? I hate it. I don't want to live that way. I told him it's simple. If he was really at home the entire time, just prove it. Why wouldn't he want to clear this whole thing up? I got so mad that he wouldn't turn over his phone that I told him I was going to the neighbors to get their doorbell footage. At first he was like, fine, go do it. He didn't think I actually would. He knows I don't like to air drama to others, so he's probably figured I'd just swallow all of this crap he'd been giving me.
So is this like the next door neighbor? Are they across the street? Are they gonna get a direct shot of this?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Luckily, I was totally being driven by anger at this point, so nothing was going to stop me from going to the
She's like,
neighbors.
I'm too
She's like, I don't
angry to
care.
people please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can know as long as they have information. When I actually started to go out the door, he tried to stop me and followed me out the door. I felt pure anger rushing through my veins, nothing else. The neighbor, who I probably said less than 10 words to in the entire time we've lived here, told me he'd send me the footage. I went home, told my husband that the neighbor didn't have the footage from that day anymore.
Oh,
a little lie.
Some Slytherin behavior come in. I see some of that cunningness.
And told him I just needed to go to the
Slytherins
store.
are normal people too, guys.
Well, cunning is a Slytherin trait.
We never said they weren't.
We
just named a typical Slytherin trait, and now you're saying that.
And now you're defensive.
I'm defending the sly Slytherins.
And told him I just needed to go to the store and cool off. So I put the kids in the car and went and parked somewhere while I waited for the neighbor to send me the footage. I have the neighbor's number now too, and he told me if I need any more footage, he will be happy to give it to me.
Conspiracy.
Yeah,
she's
place
gonna
it in.
start sleeping with the neighbor.
That is, yeah. I was like, he's like, yeah, I'd be happy to give it to you, and also if you want, like, come and like watch it.
Yeah, you could watch
My-
it, and I could
on my TV or something,
Pour
I
you a
don't know.
glass of wine, and also
big deal.
I could watch the TV from the jacuzzi if you join me as we watch this footage. With your husband.
Hey, got a jacuzzi with a TV set up?
Yeah, I would cheat with this man too. Jeez.
The video shows a blue car that I don't
Oh!
recognize show up and park in our driveway.
Oh my god.
A blonde woman gets out of the car and goes towards my house. She walks on the outside of our garage towards the gate leading to our backyard. The gate is too far back and out of the way to be seen on the doorbell footage. She and her car were there for 23 minutes. Imagine that. The car leaves right around the time that my husband called me to say he was home and had been home the entire time, as I was rushing home in a panic and calling him on repeat. One of two possibilities as to where they went. She either came in through the side door of the house, which does provide direct access to the basement, or, and what I think is more likely, is that they were in the backmost area of our yard, which is a gated pool area. Immediately behind our house is a grass lawn. Then you step down a few steps and we have a patio. And then there's a fully gated area where the pool is. It's not like you think of when you picture a gated pool. It's a full 6-foot wood fence all the way around, plus even taller landscaping for added privacy. You can't see into that area at all unless you're inside. So before we go any further, he was technically at home.
Thank you.
Cheating, but at home.
Hey, this could be a coworker that needed help.
Private help
In the
Really
privacy of
intimate help.
his pool while they
his
were
gated
naked.
Pool. And is that a crime?
Is that a crime to help your naked friends?
Regardless, like he is at home, but he still was not watching a 9-month-old. And that is a huge issue. Just adding on to the fact that he's probably cheating.
Okay.
I think it's more likely that they were back there because my son said his dad's keys were gone and we kept that gate locked with a key. The pool is closed for winter, but
Duchess Cassandra, sorry, it says maybe he was doing the blonde's laundry.
yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Could be friends, just friends.
Yeah,
But
naked
they're-
friends.
But there is one building back there, sort of like a shed we converted into a changing area. How freaking big is your house?
You don't
And there
have
is a
sheds
covered
where you
path.
change?
You'd be
Yeah,
friends
they
with him.
converted I just
Sorry, we're-
changed in the house.
Sophia, we're in a shed right now.
Yeah, but that's different. We don't have a pool shed. The pool is closed for winter, but there is one small building back there, sort of like a shed we converted into a changing area, and there is a covered patio with furniture. I'm convinced that's where they were. So technically he was home, but in an area totally removed from the house and where he couldn't see or hear the kids if something happened.
Yeah, that's not appropriate.
And the kids didn't know where
It's
he
dangerous.
was.
Yeah.
Incredibly dangerous. Again, 9-month-old. I asked him how he could explain this. What were they doing? I obviously don't need him to tell me what they were doing, but for some reason, I still had hope that he'd finally be honest. He wasn't contrite. He showed no remorse.
Oh my God.
He was just like, yeah, she was here, but I obviously never left.
What's up with this guy? He's just like, yeah, but I didn't leave the house.
He's
we were
like, okay, but
sleeping
we
in the back.
established I never left.
Yeah, what
So what's the
matters?
problem?
I don't see why you're upset here.
Yeah, I cheated with her at the house.
At the house. I never lied.
Who is she? How long has this been going on? And if he's going to be such a disgusting, despicable excuse of a man, then why couldn't he at least have found any other time and any other lie or excuse other than when he was home alone with our kids? I told him I know this has happened before, and I demanded to know how many times he's done this when he's been alone with the kids. He swears this is the only time,
That
and
is-
he's known for being incredibly truthful.
This is not true. This woman did not come over for the first time and do these acts
No.
in the shed while his kids were
Yeah,
home, and
There's no way this is
and
the
they
first time.
couldn't. That was
yeah.
the best time they could find for their first engagement.
Yeah, no, that would be ridiculous. But he still doesn't have the balls to confess to what they were doing. I don't believe him that this was the only time, FYI. I still have so many questions, and I still feel like my heart is beating 200 times a minute. My blood pressure is through the roof. I've cried a lot, sobbed, begged for someone to help me, yelled, screamed, ordered a bunch of books about divorce and custody. And you know what? The next day, after our multiple explosive fights, him putting his hands on me,
Oh,
whoa.
no.
And me seeing the evidence, he acted like everything was totally normal.
What's up? We good?
Yeah, he
Like,
really.
So anyway,
Want breakfast? You hungry?
Yeah, any
Pancakes.
amount of like anything being off, he's like, this is ridiculous.
like I was.
She's like, how dare you cheat on me? And he's like, you're overreacting.
yeah. What are you talking about?
When's my breakfast ready?
And like none of that stuff ever happened. I woke up still seething, exhausted, broken, and he's acting like everything's totally normal. He said he was ordering breakfast to be delivered from our favorite breakfast place. He asked if I wanted to go to the store together later and try this new recipe for chili tonight. Why would I want to do any of these things with you now? Absolutely no acknowledgement of anything he's done or what's transpired between us in the past few days. He deserves an Oscar for how well he was able to act like none of that happened, completely comfortable and non-phased. By the way, you can be comfortable knowing that we have full episodes just like this for you to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search at Pokey Storytime. And there is just a wee bit left of this story. But do you have any final thoughts?
People are bringing up some interesting things. Okay, so scary to think about how often he may have left them unsupervised. Son seems pretty comfortable with the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, most 5-year-olds would be like, I see no parent in sight. That's really scary. And he was just chill with it. He was like,
Yeah.
"Sup, Grammy? Like, yeah,
yeah,
no, we're
Dad
just
went out.
chilling, but it's cool."
It might have been a situation where the dad was like, I'll be right back or
Yeah.
something. And I was like, okay, dad went out.
Yeah, it's possible, but there's just a lot of strange things about this, especially like what OP is saying, how she's bringing up his infidelity. This is wild, and he's just like,
He's not
just
even
acting
denying
like nothing.
it. He's just acting like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, he's not, well, he's,
which is just strange.
yeah.
It's
Not
like,
oh, I didn't cheat on you. It's just like, yeah, she was here. Okay.
yeah, just with no remorse. I'm
Yeah.
curious, like, what's going on with
Yeah.
him?
Mentally crazy. I know that it's a waste of my energy, but I just desperately want him to admit the full truth of what he did that day and any other day with this woman. I want to hear it from him. It won't change whatever he's done, but he could at least have the respect and decency to be honest now that he's been caught. That's a ridiculous thought, though, right? How foolish of me to expect this man to show decency and honesty now. If he was a decent and honest man, then he wouldn't have had a strange woman over to our house and been out of sight from our kids for 23 minutes. His continued denial and refusal to admit to anything other than the bare minimum, his attitude like I'm somehow being controlling or infringing on his rights by asking for information, that's almost more hurtful than him cheating on me. That is the end of that story.
My husband has been ignoring me, but giving my mother his full attention.
Is he married to your mom?
Didn't think so.
Yeah.
He struggles to listen to me at all, but when my mother and he are together, it's like I don't exist.
Immediate red flag.
Yeah, that's weird.
He struggles to listen to you at all?
Yeah, already. You lost me there.
What?
This has been an issue ever since he was first around her. She's very talkative and tends to talk people's ears off. For whatever reason, she's zoned in on him, speaking more to him than she ever has to me. By the way, this comes from Professional Stick 363, and if you want to submit your own stories, just go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. Easy peasy. So he would get irritated by it, or so he claimed, but he would still engage. He said he did so because she would get upset if he didn't, which was and is still true. When he spoke to me for just a minute, she said that she was being ignored. I would get upset because I didn't speak much, and most of what I was saying was important. I felt like he couldn't tell her to hold on and prioritize what I was saying. I tried to ask him if he wanted me to order him something for dinner one time. I was running out of time to order, and he kept looking over and then looking back at her. He snapped that he couldn't talk to both of us at the same time. I said I felt like he was ignoring me. I was already upset over other things that had happened that day. When we got back to where we were staying, I asked if I could talk to him about it, doing so calmly, as he always said that I didn't do that, and that this was why it led to an argument. I don't like this guy.
No.
I really don't like this guy saying like, oh, you never do it calmly.
Oh, starting an argument. Like, why are we with this man?
Like, which
Easy.
I guess could be true
Break up.
sometimes, but I don't know. It feels
I don't
off.
buy it from him.
Feels off. Well, within seconds of me asking, he was yelling at me, punting things and threatening divorce.
Divorce this man.
Yeah, just do it. Just
Literally
like,
from the
okay.
first sentence, divorce him.
Yeah, we're on slide 12 out of 58 in this story.
Divorce.
We're
Easy.
already so against this man.
There's nothing redeemable.
I don't like him. When we were last here, I didn't say much, as usual, and whenever I did, he would get frustrated. He would say that he was overstimulated and couldn't talk to both of us at the same time, that he needed to be left alone. He's done the same on this current trip, though I am not the one causing his overstimulation. It seems he takes it out on me anyway. I struggle to believe he's experiencing it, because a while back, he said he was, and that he had a headache, but then immediately went back to speaking and joking with her. When I got upset and said that I felt like he was unfairly taking it out on me, that I wasn't doing anything wrong, he acted like I didn't understand his overstimulation. He refused to listen to me or acknowledge what I was saying. When I said he gives most of his attention to my mother, he said, can I not choose how and who I want to interact with? Which would mean he is actively ignoring me. The crazy thing is that he's a hypocrite as always.
Dude,
every single sentence
you don't
about
like
this
your
man.
husband. You literally don't like your husband.
And you shouldn't. I don't like your husband.
I don't like your husband, but you don't like your husband, so why are you with your husband?
He sounds incredibly emotionally manipulative.
Yeah.
And
like, oh, can I not choose who I spend time with? Sure, you can choose, but why are you with a person that you don't want to spend time with?
yeah, it's always the people that are like, if you bring up an issue, they immediately flip it back on you.
Yeah.
It's
Come
like,
on.
oh my goodness. It was days later that I snapped and told him to hold on when she was speaking to me, overwhelming me in the process. He told me not to say that, not to take it out on him, and that it was her bothering me. This is literally what she told you, sir. And that's the thing about people like this, is that since you've used this argument against them, they know how much it means to you.
Yeah.
And it actually, like, you know, holds like
Weight,
value
yeah.
or weight, for you. And so then they know that that's gonna get you.
And then you're gonna be like,
back. Yeah. He said this twice, the only times that I've done it. When I said he was a hypocrite and asked why he couldn't acknowledge it or apologize when I said it, he said that he was sorry. Who knows? Maybe he was only saying it because I had. Either way, I don't like it. Every day it's the same thing whenever she's around. When we all go out together, I can only speak to him when she's out of the car. Otherwise, she will speak over me or seem to get bothered that his attention isn't on her.
dude, you need to leave your mom.
Yeah, you gotta talk to your mom about this too.
Yeah, like honestly, just like why are you still there? You gotta get out of there.
Tonight we got dinner to cook at home. When we got back, they were talking in the kitchen. I asked if I could put the chicken out. I had to keep asking, with him only responding after she left and blaming his not listening on the fact that she was talking to him. He was going to put the rice on and asked where the pans were. She had just shown me, so I told him. He didn't take in what I was saying and called for her. I left the kitchen, and when I came back, the rice was on. She was standing right in front of it. Now, this is an issue because she spits when she talks. It's something that bothers both of us. When we go out to eat, I cover my food. Dang. The last time we ate out, he got spit on. Now he is reluctant to go out to eat because of it. He would know that I wouldn't want her in front of the food. When I commented on her being near it, he said that she wasn't that close. I started stirring the rice, which unbeknownst to me had only been on for a few minutes. Because I didn't know that, I was confused as to why it wasn't getting hot. I kept asking him, and it took several times for him to say that it hadn't been long.
Dude, this is like, if I was in, as someone who does get overstimulated, if I was in this space, I would have a breakdown.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining this. So you have OP's mom who's like, and she's spitting.
Yeah.
And then OP's like, hey, is the rice on? Why isn't the rice getting hot? Why isn't the rice getting hot? And then the husband is like ignoring and talking to the mom and being like, blah, 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 blah,
right.
blah, blah, blah. And then he's just like, and she's like, why isn't the rice getting, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd have a breakdown.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in a room with all three of these people.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so painful.
That's my nightmare.
So painful. When it did get hot, I started to smell something strange. I was under the assumption it was a gas stove and asked if it was gas, something I again had to ask more than once. It then started to smoke, and I asked him to turn it down. He didn't listen to me, though I asked more than once. The smoke alarm went off because of it.
What the frick?
This is,
dude.
This
what?
is
like
infuriating.
If there was an active fire, would you be like, "Hey, honey, there's an active fire"?
Hey.
Would he just not ignore you? Would he just ignore you?
The smoke alarm would have to beep
Yeah,
like
beep,
10 times
beep.
for
And
him to
he's
actually
hey,
be like, whoa,
is there
wait.
a fire? And Opie's
Yeah.
like,
yes. I mentioned that Trump left the World Health Organization, and he responded to that. I tried to say more, but before I knew it, they were in a debate, and everything I was saying was being ignored again. I asked for help again, and he didn't respond. What a shocker.
This man doesn't like you.
Yeah. I asked more than once, and he threw his head back, rolled his eyes, which I thought was at me. When he came back and started trying to help, I told him not, that he didn't want to help before. He asked if he should go away then, and I said yes. Good job. I can't remember everything I said, but the gist of it was that I was being ignored, as I always am, and that I'm fed up with it. I said I didn't want to be out with them, that I didn't want the food, and that I was going to order something. He called me a prick, and I left. Good on you. Get out of there.
But like, also, please get out of the relationship.
Absolutely. He came into the room and told me to come out. I reacted angrily, insulted him a bit, and told him I was done being ignored by him. He acted like I was overreacting, like I had no reason to be upset. He said that he had listened to me. This isn't just a one-off instance, but something that happens every day. He seems to listen to everyone but me, including my mother, who primarily goes on about herself constantly and doesn't take in most of what he or anyone else says. He acts annoyed by it sometimes, but then engages with it and encourages her to keep going. Right now, he's in the living room and she's going on and on about herself, about her life. He's not saying much, but he's asking questions that would keep it going. I don't know if he's taking in what she's saying, but if it were me talking to him like that, he wouldn't even be responding. I can't even ask him a question. And he's also studying away to become a counselor, so he's going to not only listen to strangers, but also listen to their problems. And you know what you could listen to is full episodes with more stories just like this one. Just go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. You could always listen to it. But yeah, there's a little bit more. But how hot is the fire in you right now? Because
I'm enraged.
But
also I'm a little bit annoyed at OP, honestly.
Yeah, for the insulting and stuff.
No, just like being in a situation where you're like talking to someone who just literally doesn't talk back. Like you're talking to a statue. Why are we married to a statue?
Yeah.
I mean, I totally understand that it's really hard to be in that situation and not know how to get out and being like, and then your mom is also seemingly on his side too. Or at least doesn't really see what the situation is.
Right. I am glad that OP is aware of what's happening.
Yeah, aware enough of being like, I am being ignored.
Yeah, and is like doing something about it. Because I think in a lot of situations, it's very easy for the one being ignored to just be like, okay, you're right. You're right.
It's like, no, take action.
Yeah, and she is. Thank goodness for it.
But I also think I think of my steps that I'd give, one, you need to start this divorce process, honestly.
Right away.
It's just like, it's not even like something that you could talk through because he's not willing to even talk to you. And two, maybe we need to limit the amount of time we're spending around mom because she also seems like an issue.
Yeah, why? Like, do they live with her or something?
I have no idea. Why are you around her so much?
Yeah, they're like always annoyed by her. Yeah. But then also are always getting food with her and stuff.
Yeah, it seems like you guys kind of hate her.
Yeah. I think I really hate the husband.
Me too.
Think that like, even if he was right, and even if he like, I don't know, didn't hear, which we know is not true, but like, even if he was overstimulated or something like that, if she's upset about it, his reaction should not be to just
belittle.
Immediately belittling and like discounting her emotions. You know, they could like have a conversation about it, you know. But I mean, that's also something that he's doing wrong on top of being a hypocrite and like making it clear that he can hear her.
Yep.
Is making up all these excuses. There is a little bit more. He's done other things like walking ahead of me with her when going into stores. A while back, he saw that I was still at the car, but kept going. When we are in public, he goes off with her or responds to her whenever she speaks to him, even when I am already trying to talk to him. Sometimes I feel like he's married to her. Sometimes I think he's doing it on purpose to make me feel like I don't matter, because a lot of the time, I think he actually doesn't like her. That maybe he's just trying to make a good impression. I have no idea, but I don't think it's normal. And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, no, but I think your mother is around you guys too much. It sounds like an extremely frequent occurrence. Have you tried taking space from her? OP responds, she is, as we are staying with her on this trip.
Don't stay with her.
On a trip. That
literally,
like,
go get a new place. Go stay at a new place.
Get a new hotel. Not that she wasn't all the times before. Even when she's out of the equation, he struggles to listen to me. And also, I don't think it's my mother stopping him from doing so.
I don't think so either. I think he has his own problem, and I also think that your mom's a problem.
Absolutely. I do, however, think it's making everything worse. We have gotten some days to ourselves, but not fully. And that's it. Wow. So yeah, I think it's definitely like, obviously the husband's and the mom has her own problems, and so all of it coming together is like the perfect storm.
Yeah. My husband moved in his mother with Alzheimer's. I can't take it any longer.
Honestly, yeah, it's a hard situation. I don't even have anything funny to say about that. That's just hard.
Yeah, that is really hard. I'm very much at the end of my rope here with this situation. My husband's mother has Alzheimer's. It became evident this year that she could no longer manage to live alone without supervision. That's really very hard. We live in a 3-bedroom house, and so my husband wanted to move her into one of the spare rooms. I agreed to this only as a temporary solution until we found a home for her to be moved to. By the way, this comes from Alzheimer's Woes, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, we had a very long discussion about this, and I told him very seriously that neither of us is equipped to be her home nurse. He agreed and promised me it would be a short stay, and he would begin to look at homes immediately. It is now a month later. My husband has not found a home. I don't even think he's been looking that hard. His mom needs to be supervised with everything. She can't even make her own meals. I found a slice of toast in the sink because she had mistook it for a dish and tried to wash it. She almost ate canned cat food thinking it was canned ham. This forces me to prepare her meals for her. This is really, really hard.
Okay, but like, where is he?
That's the thing.
Where is he? Is he at work?
Yeah.
What's he doing? Where is he?
I work from home, so between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. I am doing work on my laptop. I cannot focus on what I have to do. I translate legal documents because she wanders into my study and starts talking to me about nothing. She thinks because I'm at home and on the computer that I'm not busy. The house is a mess. When it was just my husband and I living here, everything stayed clean and tidy. I washed the floors once a week, and that was fine. Now I find myself having to clean almost every day because his mother spills things on the floor and drags in mud from our garden and yard. She is dirty and leaves dishes and cups on top of her kitchen island as if to say, you put these away. She doesn't flush the toilet. She leaves pieces of food out to mold. She smells sour because she forgets to bathe for days on end. And I adamantly refuse to take on that task as well. My husband is the one who tells her to go bathe. Our spicy sleep life is flatlined. He's too tired and stressed, and I'm too annoyed. There's always the fear she's going to barge in, too, because she doesn't register anything. I am sick of this. My house feels like a prison. My husband is useless. All he says is I haven't found the right home for mom, or if he sees her being slightly more lucid than the day before, he makes excuses that she's made an improvement. Oh, today she made her own toast and ate it instead of putting it in the sink. Whoopi is beginning to feel like we'll be stuck with her until she passes away, which I think OP is saying there. Like, he keeps saying, oh, she's getting better. She's getting better. She put her toast in the trash. And it's like, no.
He's
bro.
Like,
He's
he's trying to
denial.
take anything as a victory
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. I get it.
I'm putting myself in the shoes of like if this was my mom.
Absolutely.
And if I saw like my wife posted and said some stuff like this, I think I'd leave her. I'm not going to lie. That's just me.
Well, we don't
I
know.
don't think I
We
could
don't
get
know
over
the
being like,
context.
she made a piece of toast. Whoopee. Like, I'd be like, dude, that's my mom. Like, I don't know.
But also, I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of empathy
She's
for both
sick.
of them.
She's ill. I
know
know,
he has
and I
to
know
live
that
with
she's
that.
not wrong either. Like,
Yeah.
she's right on. It's like, yeah, she needs to be in a home.
Yeah.
I am not a caregiver. I have a job.
But it's just
But
like
we all have a
incredibly
breaking
frustrating.
point. It's been a month.
I think it's both of them are.
But it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
feel a
I'd be
lot
able
of
to look at
empathy.
my partner the same way if I found out she was saying this stuff. I don't. But that's just me. And I said maybe I'm just a little mommy's boy. But yeah, I don't know.
This situation is turning me into a bad person. I resent his mother now, and I am shamed to say it, but I start hoping she will have an accident. Oh. That lands her in the hospital, so she's finally out of the house. I can't live like this anymore. Yes, I feel bad because it's his mom and the only family is left, but this is not the life I signed up for. I need my house back and my peace of mind, too. I want the kitchen counter to stay clean for more than a few days and the floor to sparkle for more than a day. I want my quiet mornings back to myself. I want to take a bath and not worry about how long I'm taking because of what she may be doing. How do I approach this with my husband? I am tired of him pussyfooting around saying, we'll see how this week goes, and putting it off. I need to talk to him in a way that is both sensitive and firm. Desperate for some advice.
Well,
And there is an edit and an update.
Yeah.
I think you go to him and you say, like, hey, I love your mom and I understand that you love your mom a lot, but like, we can't help her. Her quality of life here is bad. And like, I want her to have the best quality of life. And I think that she will get that with someone who has the time and ability to care for her. And let's work together. Because I noticed that, you're having trouble doing this and like finding a place for it. Let's do it together. Let's take a weekend or maybe a couple weekends, look through all of them together, find a place. Unfortunately, it's going to require more things from you, but I think you have to hold his hand a little bit in this moment.
Yeah.
Because this is really, really hard for him too.
Yeah.
There is an edit though. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so overwhelmed by the support and responses. I actually sat here and cried for a bit. I'm sorry if I came off as angry. There's been so much built up frustration. It felt good to actually say how I feel to someone.
Yeah, it's the vent. That's what I was thinking.
I'm talking to Mike when he gets home today. And there is an update. So let's get into it.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to post an update since so many people requested one in the first post. I know it's been quite some time, but a lot has happened, and it finally calmed down enough that I could find the time to post. Good news, husband's mom is now in an appropriate home.
Thank God.
Thank God. We were able to find a place about an hour drive from where we live that was $7,000 a month and that had pretty great reviews. We obviously toured it first and talked to the staff and asked extensively about activities, cleaning schedules, food, etc. Mother-in-law was moved in this week. We were really lucky. Because of our location, there wasn't a long waiting list, and there were several openings this month alone. It also helped we had a strong referral from her longtime physician, the one who actually told us about this place to begin with. So basically, what happened after that post, I called Mike and told him we needed to talk when he got home. When he got in, we sat in my study and I laid it out for him. I told him exactly how I felt about the situation, told him it was enough. I showed him some printouts of information I had on Alzheimer units surrounding us, even articles on coping with having a parent going through this. Long story short, we got into an argument. He accused me of being unsupportive, being selfish, etc. I refused to take it. I have been the one to stay home and babysit his increasingly sick mother all day. Not him. I told him that, and that if he was so dedicated to having her stay in the house, he could be the one to take care of her. I was at the absolute limit.
Completely fair.
Yeah. I packed a bag and checked myself into one of the nicer hotels. I went out and bought some bath bombs and wine, and for the first time in a long time, I just had time for me. I was able to sit on my laptop and actually get ahead on my work. He was, of course, texting me and calling, but it was just to continue his tirade, which I could happily ignore for the time being. I knew that he would soon be seeing things in a much different light. It seriously took only 2 days. He begged me to come home. He told me he was sorry and that he didn't know just how bad it was. I told him he'd have to do better than that and to actually take her to the doctors and get that referral so we could have her moved to a long-term care ASAP. Make an appointment at home. Start prepping her for the move. Until then, I wasn't checking out of my newly found peace and quiet. He wasn't taking care of her. He didn't understand because he wasn't taking care of her.
How long have these people been together? I don't know. This just, I get it. Again, I understand her position, but this all just feels like the most sort of, is it aggressive? No, it's like the most like abrasive way of going about this. Where you're just like, I'm not coming home. You're not going to see your wife until you like figure all this out. And it's
But,
like, I get it.
like-
I get it that you've been doing this, but it's also a month is not a long time. I feel like a lot of this just built up and bubbled and bubbled and bubbled until it became this raging boil inside her. And like
Dealing with
Where-
people
you know?
who are very sick, especially with people who have dementia and Alzheimer's, is incredibly hard and makes people angry and mad and guilty, and just it creates all of these feelings, especially when it's someone you love. He actually came through. Her physician, a really, really great guy, by the way, who also had a parent go through this, got us fast-tracked for this place. I think that paired with Mike seeing his mom's actions really helped to open his eyes to the reality of the situation. She wasn't just a little off, she was actually a danger to herself. I also talked to my husband about getting therapy. I told him it would be normal to have feelings of guilt or sadness over this, and that I thought he should take the time to see someone. I offered to go with him if he wanted me to be there. He said he would think about it, and I decided not to push it. I will take it up with him again, though, if I see he's not doing well because of it. He cried a lot the day we had to take her in. When we got home, we had a long talk about how he felt, and he told me he was sorry. He said I was selfish and uncaring. He said he realized how much I must have cared to do that for him for 3 months.
3 months?
3 months.
Not 1 month?
No, 3 months.
It's been 3 months now.
3 months.
My point is, it's like I feel like this all could have been talked about and discussed earlier. Get it? A lot of this was just OP, like just needed to vent all of these feelings and thoughts out, which is fair. And we're all
OP,
human.
I feel like OP wasn't trying to be like, I hate her. It's just like, I
No.
hate the situation.
She just needed to say
The,
this
the,
out loud.
the one comment she said about like, oh, I wish something bad happens to her. I
Oh.
didn't like that one. OP
It's
did
true.
say like, I feel like the bad guy,
Yeah.
but like I'm at my wit's end, and
No.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And no one's saying that you are a bad
Just
person.
taking
It's just
care of a person who is that sick. I told him it doesn't mean someone doesn't care when they have to just admit they can't handle something. There are professionals for a reason. We're just not them. So that's where we're at right now. This week is more about everything settling down, him getting used to his mom being away, me getting the house back to normal, and getting back into routine. I've left her belongings in the room she was occupying so we could still have that piece of her and we could bring things to her as necessary. They gave us a list of clothing items needed, but it was mostly comfortable housewear like PJs and slippers. And since it's not winter yet, nothing bulky like sweaters or coats. I had to have the mattress replaced in her room though, because she had wet the bed often and not said anything, so it was destroyed. I cleaned up her bathroom and just tidied the room up in general so it was livable again. By the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search for Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story. But like anyone who's experiencing this right now has experienced this, just know like we, hearts in the chat for you. Hearts from me to you.
Absolutely.
It's a really, really, really awful. Any long-term sickness is just...
yeah, we're human. We're not superheroes. If
Yeah.
that was your job, then that's something different. But
Yeah.
you actually have your own freaking life.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's at the point where you're not living 2 jobs. Especially in your household,
Mhm.
you want to at least have some wind down time.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to everyone who weighed in. So much good advice and words I much needed to hear in that original thread. And thank you to everyone who shared their personal story and gave their suggestions on how to help husband cope. Hopefully from here on out, things can be a lot more stable. It's definitely not easy. And I wish that in a perfect world, none of this would have to be happening, but it already feels so much better this way. And that is the end of the story.
We took in my husband's 3 siblings after his parents passed away. I'm at my breaking point.
Oh no. Breaking point?
The Rugrats out there.
3 new roommates. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay. Edit, the thread is supposed to say, my husband's parents passed away. Now we're taking care of his 3 siblings. I wasn't thinking clearly last night. Please excuse the throwaway. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I hope someone can help me before I lose my mind. By the way, this comes from username on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my husband, Josh, and I have been married for 3 years. We met in school and dated for 3 before getting married. Before our relationship could get serious, I needed to know if we were on the same page about kids. And Josh was adamant that he never wanted children. We both really like kids and enjoy being around them, but we wanted a life that just wasn't suitable for children. 8 months ago, Josh's parents passed away in a car accident.
Wow.
They had been to a party. His father had way too much to drink, then he ran into a wall. Neither had been wearing their seatbelt. His mother passed away instantly, while his father passed away 2 days later in the hospital.
Oof.
This was a horrific time for the family, only made worse by the fact that his 3 younger siblings were now orphans. Josh had 3 siblings. Tammy, 14 female. Tommy, 10 male. And Timmy, 7 male.
You're gonna love
Tommy
that.
and Timmy.
You're gonna love
Holy
that.
crap. Okay.
Josh, of course, took responsibility for his siblings, and everyone's lives have turned upside down. I'll try my best to make a list of everything that's pushing me to the breaking point. We live 3 hours away from Josh's family home. Josh and I live in a big city while their family home is in a smaller town 3 hours away. Since the accident, Josh has been living in the family home full time to take care of the kids. Their therapist said it would be best to disturb their lives as little as possible, and we didn't want to take them away from their home, their school, and their friends. They can't move into our current home. Josh and I have a very nice condo in the city that is only 2 bedrooms, and there's no way we can have kids there comfortably. Our city is nice, but the public schools are crap, and it would cost us a fortune to put them all into private school. Which brings me to my next point. I am responsible for paying 90% of the bills. I have always and will always make substantially more than Josh. My field is very specialized, and while there aren't many jobs, the ones that are pay very well. I'm in niche industry. That's what they always say. Josh was more of an artist, so he only brought in money when someone commissioned something. I was fine paying the majority of the bills because Josh would always cook dinner, clean the house, do the grocery shopping, and other chores as his way of chipping in while I work grueling hours. Okay. Seems like they got something working out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I find myself paying for 2 mortgages and insurance for 3 extra people and a whole bunch of other expenses, which have been eating up my salary. I've been working 60 to 70 hours a week for the past few months just to try and keep our head above water. I'm exhausted all the time.
Wow. 60 to 70 hours a week. Oh my gosh.
I got a lot of thoughts. I think we should get through the bullet points before.
Let's do it.
Josh and I never see each other. My field is very specific, and the only company that I can work for is in this city. It would be impossible for me to commute 6 hours every day, so during the week, I stay in our condo. In the past 8 months, I count the number of times Josh and I have spoken to each other alone on one hand. I come home every night to an empty condo and microwave some food before collapsing on the couch. When I go there on the weekends, all our time is taken up by the kids' activities. One needs to go to dance, and now the other one needs to be taken to a soccer game. The youngest one has some slight learning disabilities, so we take them to a specialist to help him. Josh and I haven't had spicy sleep in close to 6 months, and I honestly can't remember the last time we kissed.
Wow.
That's
So
tough.
This is causing a strain on their relationship, too.
Yeah, and I mean,
Man.
like, it's so tough, like, coming into a relationship. Hey, I don't want kids. You don't want kids. I think we're going to live our lives, because it seems like their lives cannot handle kids.
Yeah.
And the fact that Josh has to live 3 hours away right now.
Yeah.
It seems like this is the only family. I was like, why is that aunt not taking him in? Or like
Right.
someone else.
Right. This is like their only option, pretty much.
And I don't see any life insurance on here. Like the parents don't have any life insurance that they left behind or any will. They just have a home.
I guess. I mean, there might be something, but if it's not coming up in the story, then it might not be like significant enough to do anything to help out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel stuck just reading that because it's like, I mean, you know, what you would think of as solutions is like, I don't know, daycare systems or like hiring a nanny or something like that. But that all costs so much money.
We had been planning on moving to Australia. My company offered me a chance to transfer to one of their branches in Sydney, and before the accident, Josh and I had 100% agreed to go. It was going to be such an amazing adventure and a wonderful opportunity for me to advance in my field. They want an answer by August, and I don't know what to do. I'm breaking. Last night, I came home after working 12 hours. I actually found myself looking for divorce lawyers in the area.
Oh, wow.
I broke down sobbing and curled up in bed and just kept crying for hours and hours. I feel like I'm losing every bit of my sanity. Reddit, I don't sleep, I barely eat, I have dark circles under my eyes, and even my bosses have said I look gaunt.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what the most effed up part is? I find myself being resentful of his siblings. How sick is that? I'm resenting of the orphans that lost their parents. I don't know what to do, but I can't keep going much longer. I curl up in my bed all alone. I feel like I'm being crushed by the weight of everything that's happened. When I took my vows, I promised I would stay with my husband in sickness and in health, but I didn't think it extended to his family. I've always
Mm.
known what kind of life I wanted to lead, and I did everything I could to achieve it. I studied, I volunteered, I worked my butt off to do everything I could do to have a good life, but now it's all falling apart around me. I told Josh I couldn't come this weekend because I had too much work to do, but really, it was because I was afraid I would snap. What should I do? We got an
Wow.
update. I don't even know what to do.
I'm suddenly feeling very underqualified to be sitting in this chair.
Yeah. I mean,
Dang.
what's going to have to happen is the kids are going to have to move somewhere. Like, okay, one,
Mm-hmm.
if Josh is responsible for these kids,
Yeah.
they're going to have to move to the city. And I know, like, it's not, like, the best situation,
Yeah.
but that's going to happen. And then
This
two,
whole thing is in the best situation.
yeah, and I
So-
know he's an artist, but he's probably going to have to pick up another job to start
Yeah.
helping out with the siblings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be tough for Josh, and they need to figure this out. And with the kids, dude, this is a tough one.
It's really tough. I know, and maybe they do need some time apart. Like maybe she does need to go to Australia and get that job because she'll be making more money, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe they can figure out some sort of way where, like, gosh, I don't know how that would be though. Like,
My best solution would be this. Could come up to the company, be like, yo,
mhm.
this is a tragedy that has happened recently.
Yeah.
Is there any way you guys could, like, help me out? Or
Yeah, if I can do extra work
if
or
I could do
something
extra
to do
work,
this and that.
because I don't know how important you are to this company, but if they gave you an opportunity in Australia, we got an update. I'm about
Okay.
to find out what OP did here.
Oh, okay, let's see.
I'm sorry it's taken me so long to update. Things have been very hectic in my life these past 2 weeks, but I'm just trying to find the time to sit down and write what happened. I know a lot of people have been curious, and I'd like to thank everyone for their advice and words, both good and bad. Things have been pushed to an overdrive since I first posted. I knew I had to have a real conversation with Josh that I've been putting off for months. So I called him and told him we need to talk. Let's just say it didn't get off to a good foot since the phone conversation went something like this.
Hey, can you get the kids' babysitter and drive up here? We really need to talk, and it's pretty important.
Now, Tommy has taught soccer practice this afternoon, and the coach wants all of us to be there.
Babe, can you please find them a babysitter? It's really important that we talk right now.
But Tommy really wants me there. Can't it wait?
I'm looking at divorce lawyers. Why don't you go ahead and tell me if you think that can wait?
That was enough to get him moving, but I was pretty ticked off that I had to plead and threaten him just to have a single conversation with him. So Josh drove up to our home looking pretty stricken when he walked in, and we sat and talked for hours about everything. I laid everything out that I've been feeling, and even showed him a printout of the post that I had made. He was very defensive at first, asking me if I was really going to be so selfish as to leave him at a time like this, and that only angered me, and I shot back and asked him when he was going to step up and be a man and provide for his own family.
Whoa. Bringing out the big guns over here.
That's crazy. When your partner just, I don't know, lost his parents, has
Yeah.
to take care of his siblings.
Yeah.
Dude, she
Just-
hasn't been laid in 6 months, dude.
The 6 months, okay.
She's got a lot of frustration, bro.
I guess.
Dude, this poor girl. First hour of our talk was pretty spent yelling at each other till our throats were raw. It might not have been the most healthy, but it helped us get out of the anger and frustration we had been feeling over the entire situation. The next 6 hours, after we'd calmed down, we finally just talked. It's been so long since we'd actually had a conversation about us. It felt awkward at first, but then we fell into our familiar rhythms. I'll spare you guys the detail, but there was a lot of crying, a lot of tissues being used, and even a few laughs. After everything, we decided it would be best for...
Let's see. Oh, drum roll.
us to move to Sydney for the year.
Wow.
The kids needed a new start, and so did we.
Wow.
There were too many ghosts and bad feelings lurking around, and we just needed a clean break from it all. I cannot stress how amazing my job has been regarding everything that has happened. I broke down in front of my VP and told her everything, and she's been so kind and helpful.
Wow.
She was the one that recommended me for the Sydney office, and she's gone above and beyond helping us get everything we needed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
This is amazing.
Her brother-in-law actually owns a bar in the area, and they need a new bartender. Bro, they got a 2-for-2 right here?
All right.
What?
Job for him too?
What the
Dude,
heck?
let's freaking go.
She spoke to him, and he offered my husband the job, and they'll be helping with him with all the paperwork. Josh and I also had a long conversation about me not being the sole provider for the family.
Great.
He's always been very picky about what commissions he takes, and he only used to do the pieces that spoke to him. But that ends here. Yeah.
I'm really surprised that didn't happen way earlier.
Really?
Listen, I'm taking commissions right now.
Yeah.
If I was in this situation, like
Everything's going to be speaking to you.
yeah, I'm hearing everything. Or I'm, doing those commissions. I'm doing this other job. Like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta.
As
do
a creative, it's hard to like, be creative about something and then also like putting food on the table.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
But when the priority is putting food on the table with all of these people,
Yes.
you're gonna have to do that.
Any job anyone is willing to pay for, he is going to have to do. I don't care if someone wants a mural of Godzilla dancing ballot. He has to take it. This isn't time for the artsy integrity. My company has been great, and they helped us find a place about an hour's commute from the new office that can be our new home.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It's 3 bedrooms, so the boys will have to share, but at least we'll all be in the same place. The school systems are really good, though. The rent almost gave me a heart attack. It's crazy that people in Australia pay per week what I pay per month for rent.
Oh wow. So we were wrong about the prices in Australia.
We'll be renting out both the family home and the apartment to help cover our expenses. We told the kids and that went okay. The boys were actually really excited about the idea of moving to Sydney and they started practicing their Australian accents.
There you go.
While Tammy was a whole other matter integrity. She called me a selfish see you next Tuesday for trying to move her away from her friends and school. I have never wanted to slap a kid so much in my life. For a second, I regretted not just leaving everything and moving myself. Luckily, Josh stepped in and told her if she was ever going to speak to me like that again, that if it wasn't for me, they would have been living out of a car months ago, and she could stop acting like an ungrateful brat. Coming back from a stressed day at work and having to deal with a surly, mouthy teenager is my own personal version of HE double hockey sticks.
Oh, man.
I mean, they didn't want kids.
Dang.
And guys, your version of HE double hockey sticks is if you don't go your favorite podcast platform right now and search up what, Angelina?
Okay, story time.
And right there will be a plethora of heavenly stories that we talk about.
Save yourselves. Have you been saved yet? That's the question.
But dude,
I
feel like you know how like those houses that are like, and this is your new house after being remodeled and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it
Move
felt
that
like.
bus.
Yeah.
Like we got that bus moved.
It was Australia.
And then all of a sudden they find
We
themselves
moved the bus. It was Australia. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is now your country / continent.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna finish this last little bit out. Josh and I have plenty of tough conversations to have, and we'll have to see how everything turns out. I'm still very scared of looking back 10 years from now and thinking that I wasted so many years of my life doing something I hated. This year in Sydney is going to be a test for all of us to see if we can actually make it work or if we should go our separate ways. It's going to be a very tough journey, and if anything big happens, I'll update you guys. But for now, wish us luck. I have a feeling we're going to need a lot of it.
Wow. What a
Holy
nice
cow.
ending.
Dude.
Yeah, definitely still going to be a challenge, but man, oh man.
Dang.
My partner is neglecting his nephew. It's ruining our relationship.
Not the nephew.
Anyone else? 4 years ago, I met Bob, 40 male. Bob had recently become the guardian of his nephew Ben after the passing of Ben's parents in a car accident. Ben is the same age as my son, Jason, 11 at the time, now 15. By the way, this comes from Unique Emergency 3407, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, at first, it seemed perfect. I was over the moon at finding a man who was not put off by the prospect of taking on a soon-to-be teenage stepson. Jason's father is not in the picture. Despite having very different personalities, the boys got along from the beginning, so Bob and Ben moved into my house within less than a year. Ben was always a quieter, more creative kid, whereas Jason is more athletic and boisterous. From the start, I got the sense that Bob understood Jason's way of being more than he did Ben's. At first, he would take them both to sports games, but Ben obviously had no interest, so pretty soon he just took Jason. At the time, it seemed like a natural choice. Ben was bored at the games, and Jason honestly reveled in having all of Bob's attention. After that, things started unraveling. As they grew older, the differences between the boys became more obvious. Their choices of clothing, hairstyle, friends, music, hobbies, etc. And so did Bob's preference. He started making little comments comparing them and encouraging Ben to be more like Jason. No.
Oh.
Stop.
Man.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop.
Exactly.
Stop thieving my joy. At first, it seemed like he was trying to be helpful, thinking Jason's way of being was healthier. He's more outgoing, has a more active social life, because that's what he remembered from his own experience. But after a while, there was a clear snideness which was impossible not to hear. My son has always had a strong protective streak and a sense of fairness. Despite their differences in the late age they were introduced, he and Ben are very close. Jason's reaction to Bob's remarks favoring him was to take Ben's side. He stopped going to games with Bob and for a while became openly hostile on Ben's behalf. That stopped once he and Bob had a major argument. Jason backed down at that point because he told me he realized that if he kept making himself unpleasant, Bob and I might break up, in which case Ben would have to leave too. Oh, that's a lot burden to put on a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Or younger at the time. Since then, with a few exceptions, he has been coldly civil. Meanwhile, Bob has come to believe Ben is attracted to the same gender based on what I consider spurious evidence, not that it matters to me whether he is or not. He wanted to send him to a military-style reform school, and when I vetoed that, his behavior towards Ben escalated to subtle kind of downright nastiness. Needless to say, all of the above strained Ben and my relationship to the breaking point and then broke it. Seeing his ongoing behavior toward a child who needs him, I can no longer look at him with anything but disgust. The thought of him touching me makes my skin crawl, and I desperately want him out of my house. We're not married, and it's still in my sole name, thank God, but now I have the same problem Jason was worried about. If I end the relationship and punt Bob out, Ben will have to go too, since legally I have no tie to him whatsoever. He's 15 now, and although he has borne everything by stoically ignoring Bob, I can't in good conscience let that man be solely responsible for him. For what it's worth, I have always tried to stick up for Ben and get Bob to see that there are many types of boys in the world, and that all of them are equally okay. Not to mention, I don't think Jason would ever forgive me if I let Ben go. I would happily take guardianship of Ben if I could. Even if Bob made no financial contribution, we could manage if we cut back on luxuries. My concern is that I am far from sure Bob would agree. However he personally feels about Ben is still his flesh and blood, and Bob feels strongly about that. To be honest, I think that's part of the reason he resents Ben so much. Ben is the last of the line and isn't turning out how Bob thinks his family should be represented. If I were to start a conversation along those lines and Bob refused to allow Ben to stay, it would be incredibly difficult to roll back. The idea of having to continue to play his supportive wife to stop him from leaving on his own accord for another 2.5 years until Ben turns 18 sounds like a nightmare. But the alternative is worse. What is the best way to manage and get through this? And there is an update. Oh, that's so tricky. That's so tricky.
Oh, man. Suddenly I feel very underqualified for this question.
I don't know. My first thought, which might be totally impossible, is like, can you adopt Ben? Because I know, like, when you're in, because it seems like they're married.
Yeah.
So
true.
I'm like, sometimes you're able to do that as long as the kid agrees or something.
This isn't their kids, right? This is the
nephew.
Yes. So it's Bob's siblings' kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but I wonder if you could look into that. It might take a while.
Because I'm thinking too, like, even if she could stay in contact with it's Ben, right? That if she could even stay in contact with Ben, but if things go poorly in this divorce, then Bob probably would not like that very much.
Yeah, he might not let that happen.
Yeah. So, oh man, that's hard.
Tricky.
But also, he's 15.
He's 15.
So maybe they can have at least some sort of communication.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be known. You know what I mean?
Hopefully. But there is an update, so maybe someone gave better advice.
Yeah, please.
I posted about my family problem about a month ago and was bowled over by the amount of kind and extremely helpful comments I got. Someone requested an update, so I'm posting now to tell you what's happened since. To be honest, it's also to unburden myself. The boys are really sweet, but I obviously can't talk to them about these things. And there aren't a lot of people in my life I feel comfortable sharing all the details with. I suppose I'm embarrassed. The week after my original post, I met with a family lawyer I know to go over options. I actually wrote down the legal suggestions posted here to discuss with her. Unfortunately, after going over each one and several others in detail, we had to conclude that while some might technically be feasible, they would either take too long to be practical or require things from Bob or Ben that, for various reasons, were not ideal. Following the meeting, I was mulling things over and decided to take a long, hard look at our finances to see what might be affordable as as a compromise. I considered sending Ben to a good boarding school and paying tuition up front so that if I left Bob, it would be easier and cheaper for him to leave Ben there rather than move him to a different school. Smart. Anyway, I went over our financial records with a fine-tooth comb, and that's when I discovered Bob was cheating on me.
Whoa, new issue.
It's a new issue, and I'm unfortunately not shocked because this man seems terrible.
Yeah.
And had been for the entirety of our relationship.
Dang, man.
It turns out that prior to Ben's parents passing, Bob had been about to move in with another woman. This woman didn't want kids, so when Bob was suddenly faced with taking care of Ben or seeing him placed in foster care, she made it clear she would not be involved.
Oh, dang.
For the record, I can't say I blame her. I love my boys with all my heart, but asking someone who never wanted kids to parent a bereaved 11-year-old she has never met is not in anyone's best interest, in my opinion. When I confronted him about the affair, he didn't even attempt to deny it. He seemed ashamed, good, and just asked what happened next. I told him that next, he was going to get his stuff and get out of my house. But first, he needed to ask Ben if he wanted to go or stay because it wouldn't be fair to disrupt the poor kid's life any further.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Dang.
Freak, Opie's playing chess right now.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's a good way to put it, though.
Yeah, it's like, well, now you've done the wrong.
Yeah. It's on you now, sir.
Like terrible, terrible circumstances.
Right.
But also maybe the best way this could have gone to get Ben into a safe place.
Yeah.
For you.
Right.
Super, but...
And then I think also using a kind of excuse of being like, well, his life has just been so crazy.
Yeah, and like finding out that you're cheating on me.
Yeah.
It's like, so like guilt tripping.
Maybe this can be a way that his life can stay normal.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Ben quickly said he preferred to stay, and Bob seemed frankly relieved.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dang.
Like again, this for OP, but maybe the easiest way it could have gone.
Yeah.
He moved out that weekend, and I haven't seen him since. We've been in touch by text to discuss financial arrangements, though, and last week he sent me money to cover Ben's basic expenses. Nothing close to child support, but under the circumstances, I'll take it and be glad. From his attitude, I take it that he's seeing this as a long-term thing. But even if he doesn't, according to the family lawyer, his leaving Ben with me, even for a while, along with Ben's age and the fact that Bob is his guardian rather than his father, would make it easier to build a case for Ben to stay, even if Bob does try to fight it. The lawyer is confident that such a battle could be won, or at least dragged out until Ben is 18 and it doesn't matter anymore. That, as you can imagine, has been an enormous relief. That makes it that much harder to admit that finding out about Bob has still hit me hard. Of course it has. I mean, like,
yeah.
Even though that you were trying to do this for Ben, like, you just found out your partner was cheating on you.
Yeah, I think even if you already know that he's like not someone you want to be around, still finding out that he's cheating is like, just as heartbreaking.
The fact is that even though I was absolutely done with him and wanted him out, there was a time I truly believed he wanted to be with me and that we could build a life together. I knew a relationship wasn't a romance for the ages or anything like that, but it was by far the best I'd had since before my son was born. And I really thought we cared for and valued one another. Now I realize that all he ever wanted from me was a mother for Ben. He as good as admitted it, and in retrospect, it makes complete sense. That's why he never wanted to get married or buy into my house, even though I offered. Though now, of course, I am grateful. He wanted to make it as easy as possible to split from me once Ben was old enough to no longer require my services. I think it might even explain why he was so hard on Ben and grasping at straws for a reason to send him away. I never expected it of him based on what else I knew, or I never would have been with him. But if he was blaming Ben for getting in the way of his life and simultaneously feeling guilty for it, that could turn a mild-mannered person mean, I think. Maybe he even thought if Ben was away most of the time, the other woman would be willing to compromise for a few years. I don't know. I've even been wondering whether he decided to pursue me before we even met. The boys met first through an extracurricular where they became friends. It's possible that Jason mentioned my being single in passing, allowing Bob to identify me as potentially suitable before we ever met. By the way, I think it'd be suitable for you guys to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search for Pokey Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but unfortunately it worked out in the best and also worst way.
Yeah, there were some bumps along the road, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you got where you needed to go.
You did.
Yeah.
That was a bad journey, but
it's only up from here.
Hopefully. I'm sorry this is such a mopey post. I truly am grateful for the way things worked out. I think it's the best possible solution for everyone under the circumstances, and not one I could have achieved without Bob's help. And the boys have been wonderful. They didn't know I was trying to get Bob out anyway, so they've been treating me very gently, or as gently as you can expect teenage boys to be anyway, and trying to pretend they aren't thrilled Bob is gone when I'm in the room. I'm glad of that, to be honest. I am so grateful he's gone and that Ben is still safe here with us. I just need a bit of time to really remember it, I think. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Oof.
Wow.
Ooh-wee. Ouch, ouch,
Dang.
ouch.
That's just so hard on poor Ben.
Yeah.
To be just kind of treated as this obstacle from Bob.
Absolutely.
Of getting like a partner. Like, come on, man. That's
truly,
that's really, really crappy. But I'm glad that Ben is with OP and that they can be a good little family and she can take care of him, because I know she's gonna treat him better.
So much better.
I just know it.
My wife threw out my late wife's videotapes. It made me furious.
Not my videotapes. Low-key, though, horrendous thing to do.
I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife, and her name is Eleanor. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks, and she's turning 18. By the way, this comes from Muchbed2383, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. Background. Me and my late wife, Chloe, had been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married, and after our wedding, she shared the news with me that she was pregnant. I was excited that we were expecting our first child since it was our first child. We bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as just joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Eleanor the tapes on her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a wasted driver crashing into her car. I was devastated by her passing and went into a deep depression, having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. My friends tried to get me to go out again and start dating, but every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her. Years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday, and we instantly hit it off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and had just gone through a divorce. 2 years after, we got married. Now, back to the present. Eleanor's 18th birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes to show her. Mind you, her mother passed away when she was just 2, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression go from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talked about my late wife. I don't say things like, "Why can't you be like Chloe?" or "Chloe was only supposed to be my first love," but I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model, then started working on her own fashion career, and don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman. Well, Wendy had 2 kids in college and was not in the best shape due to her words. I love both women, how they are, and I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she is, and she broke down crying. The next day after the incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way that she acted last night. I told her it was okay, and it's good that she felt comfortable to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on the forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were, and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in my closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. No, you've let her right to the tapes.
You let her into the treasure trove.
I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to find them, the box wasn't in my closet.
Where's the box?
Where's the box?
Where's the box?
I looked everywhere to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box, and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped, and I asked her what she meant, and she told me that I talk about her too much and that I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only did she throw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument, and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom. It's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer, finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give to my daughter, because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day, and she's been texting me nonstop of how sorry she is, but I really just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it, since Chloe passed away over 10 years ago, but I'm trying to ignore them all because they've never had someone so close to them pass away. I am working on finding these files, and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do, and I really need help. And there is an update.
So there were backups? You're
It
finding
seems
the
like-
backups.
It seems like there are backups.
Okay,
but
good.
like, regardless of whether it's like
Still
if
divorced.
someone tries to punch you and you dodge, like they still try to punch you, you know?
It'd be like imagine in a home renovation context, you have a contractor,
Yeah.
right? Contractor's doing a good job. Then they put like a giant hole in your floor that goes into your basement. And they go, ooh, oh, my bad. No, don't worry though. We'll fix that. And then we'll finish the rest of your house too. Be like, no, you're not going to finish the rest of the house. Put a hole in my floor. You're out. Someone else is going to come in.
But there's an update. I didn't expect this to blow up. I came on here to look for general advice, and now I have thousands of people blowing up my DMs. I was thinking about asking Wendy about the tapes and where she threw them out, but I saw a comment that told me not to ask her because I might give her time to hide it or lie. Instead, when I went back home, I checked the outside trash cans and the kitchen ones, and I still couldn't find them. Trash day isn't until Thursday, so I was confused. I finally went up to talk to her, and at first she wasn't going to tell me. I threatened her with divorce, like one of you guys said, and she gave in. It turns out she kept the videotapes in her car until trash day arrived because she knew I would look through the trash. So they have the tapes. So now I have the tapes, thank God.
Wow.
Yeah, so OP has the tapes back. Another question asked was, did Eleanor know about the tapes? No, I didn't want to ruin the surprise unless I knew that I had a backup. She doesn't know about them now, and I'm not planning on telling her until her birthday. Yeah, don't tell her they exist until they're in her hands. The only problem is that I'm afraid Wendy might tell her. One more question people are asking is if I'm considering divorce. Wendy has never done anything like this before, and I don't want to ruin a 6-year relationship, but at the same time, I really do think she needs some type of help. I'm considering asking her to go to therapy, and I'm really reconsidering our relationship. Wendy is really good with my daughter, and my daughter loves her and her children like family. I think Wendy is just trying to take Chloe's place in being Eleanor's mother. I'm really starting to think she has issues. A lot of people also said if I don't divorce her, I will betray my daughter. My daughter is my number one, and I think I should find someone better who can respect not only me, but my daughter and her mother. And there is a second update. It's been a month now. Things have definitely changed. For anyone wondering, Eleanor's birthday went great, especially without Wendy there to ruin it. Basically, what happened was Wendy found my post and went crazy about it. She started accusing me of trying to ruin her life over something so little. And the only way she found out was because her older sister saw the story on TikTok. We got into an argument and she tried gaslighting me into being the crazy one. She threatened to leave and take all I owned and whatever else she said. She then proceeded to go into our room and started tearing things down, trying to look for the tapes again. I pulled her wrist, trying to get her to calm down, but she took it as an opportunity to start breaking down crying, saying that I hit her. I backed off and just watched as she tried to throw things at me. I finally reached my breaking point because it was the day of my daughter's birthday and I had a little time left to get to the dinner that night. We had reservations. I was already dressed and had to pick Eleanor up from a friend's house, so I grabbed my keys and left Wendy there. I didn't have time for her to act like a child. And by the way, the tapes were at my mother's house. Smart. As we were all going there after dinner. The night went great after that, and me and Eleanor came home to a messy house with furniture and pictures torn up. It looked like a bunch of 3-year-olds went wild in there. Wendy and her children weren't anywhere to be found, and neither was her car. By the way, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Spotify if you search up OK Storytime. And you can also find full episodes with stories just like this.
Find us in your house. Find us in your car.
Find us in your
at work.
walls. But there is a little bit left to the story. Do you have any final thoughts?
I've never seen a clearer reason to divorce someone in my life.
And I think OP's at that point. Because I think before he was like, well, this is the first time she's done this. And then he was like, ooh, the first of many, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's like, just because somebody has problems does not mean that
You
have to be like there throughout the entire process of them addressing them and dealing with them and changing through them. Like sometimes a problem cannot be overcome and I just feel like this is one of those things, especially the way that she reacted afterwards by, I don't know, tearing up the entire house. It makes it pretty clear.
Yeah.
I don't have to stick around through that.
No, not at all. That was a very intense and very worrying reaction. And hopefully, I would say like in terms of you probably want to take some like safety precautions given that's how she left.
Yeah, maybe get some. I feel like everybody should have cameras.
I think cameras.
Everybody
change
needs
locks.
cameras outside their house.
Yeah.
Everyone on earth They did it. They figured out the invention everyone needs.
Cameras.
And it's the cameras that tell you when people are creeping up on you in your house.
Creeping up on you.
Yeah, clearly she needs help.
And I think Opie knows that now. I think that's very clear. But there's a little bit left. I already assumed it was Wendy who did all of this. Plus, I had proof because I keep security cameras in my house.
That's right. Keep them in your house. Keep them outside your house.
I told Eleanor about everything that went down before her birthday, and she was shocked, at least to know the woman she thought was an angel was actually a bee. Long story short, we called the cops. Wendy got arrested, but was released after 3 days. Now I'm almost done with the divorce process. Also, Wendy, if you're reading this, have fun living at your mother's house and having a criminal record. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, what's the over-under on that being assaulting an officer? I bet you that's what it was. Cop showed up.
I was going to say, I was like, how would she have been arrested for trashing the house when it's like her house?
Cops showed up, and then the cops were like, what's going on here? She went, what's going on? You, me, we're throwing down in the ring right now.
You versus me. Ba-ba-ba.
My husband and mother-in-law made a major decision without me.
Well, I think you need to decide to leave. Get him out of there.
For clarification, I am beyond angry with both of them. I know they both had good intentions, but my thought process is currently, how effing dare you? I need to know if I'm being unreasonable or if I'm justified before I approach a conversation about it. By the way, this comes from Frosty Engine 358, and if you want to submit your own stories, just go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So for context, my husband is very nonsensical, a hardworking provider type of man. He is stubborn and will not do anything he doesn't want to do. So it's not like he was trying to please his mom. His mom is very blunt and in-your-face honest. Neither of them are manipulative or conniving in any way, and they're very good people. I have an amazing relationship with both of his parents, so this is completely out of character for them. I know they had good intentions, they just did this all kind of backwards. As for myself, I am anxious and easily stressed. I've lived a hard life and had a lot of choices taken for me in childhood, and now I need to be included in decisions. I need to feel like it's equal in order for me to be okay. With that being said, I'm also very honest, blunt, and in your face. I am not submissive by any means, and I do not shy away from confrontation. I am currently not in a stable work environment, and job loss seems to be just around the corner. If you stay up to date with the news, then you'll know what I mean, but I have to be careful about what I say regarding it. With that being said, our lease on our rental is coming up soon, and we were wanting to buy a house, but now just doesn't seem like the time. We were looking at other rentals when his parents bought a rental house and asked if we wanted to rent it. My mom messaged me about it first, and I said I didn't think it was a good idea. Later that day, I'm assuming, but I have no confirmation on the timeline, she called my husband, and they both agreed that we would. He messaged me prior to agreeing with her, and I again expressed that I didn't think it was a good idea due to our current circumstances. I didn't outright say no, I left it open for discussion, but I made it clear that I didn't think it was a good choice. Well, after they both asked me, they went around me and agreed that we would move in. My husband didn't tell me that this happened until a couple of days later and casually dropped it into conversation. And he said, I know you said no, but that was silly. Girl, what? That's such a valid reason.
I'm sorry. I know you said no, but that was silly and that was it?
Girl, please. I'm fuming, raging, and shaking. I want to revert back to lashing out, but I know that I cannot. It has been 2 weeks and I have yet to reach a point where I can communicate healthily, but it needs to be addressed. So I'm going to try my very best tonight. Am I overreacting? I feel like I was told, you silly little girl, let the adults make the decisions. And just sit down and be a submissive wife. Obviously, that's not what was said or what he meant. And I know that they had good intentions, but I'm so angry, I'm finding it hard to focus on that. So am I the a-hole for thinking it's absolutely insane to bypass me, leave me out of the conversation, and take my choice away entirely? In addition, how can I approach this in a way that won't destroy my relationship? At this point, I'm feeling vindictive and petty. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I'm also not entirely sure if I can bite my tongue once I let the damn loose. There are some comments, but what would your answer be?
I think that you can go and have a conversation where it's not like, I mean, definitely express that you were upset and stuff, but you don't necessarily have to come up with like trying to belittle him or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be an effective conversation.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I think saying, hey, we are in a relationship. We're not in a relationship with your parents. They might have different advice for you that you want to take. But when we are making decisions for the both of us, we need to be on the same page. And you can't just, bypass me and not listen to my opinion in the conversation.
Yeah, especially if this is like a very valid reason of their financial situation being a little uneasy right now. Like that's something to be discussed, and that's something that he should be worried about too.
Just tell him like all of your feelings about this.
Yeah, I agree. You could probably even bring up again, like I'm sure he knows that your childhood was full of decisions being taken away from you, but you could probably bring that up again if he already knows. If he doesn't know, just tell him and be like, hey, this is super important to me specifically. Like,
and if he reacts not well, then you know a little bit more about the state of your relationship.
Exactly. But there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, sounds like a conversation must be had. You are a partnership, and with that, decisions should be agreed upon, or at the very least, discussed. Is renting your mother-in-law's place cheaper? OP responds, it's more expensive, which was a lot of my concern. Comment number 2 says, not overreacting, especially as it's more expensive. Renting from family is a bad idea to begin with. I would also be very upset if they went behind my back with this decision. I could maybe handle it, a big maybe, if the rent would be cheaper. I do think it warrants a discussion between you and hubby, but maybe walk away if things get too heated. I don't know why your hubby thought increasing your housing costs would be a good idea with your job worries and the economy in general right now. And we do have an update. I think those are very, very good points.
Yes.
So for the update. Okay, so thank you all for the words of advice and the validation. I sat with my anger and hurt, and I had a therapy appointment that helped me immensely. Oh, good. I was able to get to a point of understanding and started problem solving. I was very distanced and reserved for the last 2 days, trying my best to separate the hurt from anger. Find the root of what triggered that within me. I was able to, which allowed me to get to a point where I can problem solve. I came up with a solution for all of my hesitancies, and then I told him I would like to talk. I shared how it made me feel being excluded. I told him why I reacted the way I did and why I had to distance for a couple of days while figuring my stuff out. I told him I never want to get to a point where I let my trauma hurt him. I was very apologetic, explained that I never said no, just that I didn't think it was a good idea and that I would have appreciated if he had come to me with his thoughts so we could figure it out together. He apologized again and expressed that he sees how it was wrong of him, explained in the moment that he didn't see it as excluding me, but that he was trying to help. I validated that and let him know that I appreciated him trying to help and that I'm thankful for that, but that I need to be included in these decisions. I talked to mother-in-law and apparently she threw the idea to him to get his thoughts just like me, and she wasn't aware a decision had been made. She thought we were talking about it and we would look at the house and let her know. He must have told me, yes, we're moving, and told her we would figure it out and let her know. Oh, wow. So it's really just the husband.
Oh, so he just is the problem. Yeah. Which we knew.
She said that she would help me with getting the kids to school 30 minutes away for the last month of school so that they don't have to switch schools so close to the end of the year, which was a major concern for me. I feel reassured there and very happy to know that my assumptions of her not doing things to go around me were correct. I raised concerns of my potential job loss, to which he says, you can work part-time for a while to do your schooling and focus on getting the kids to and from, and it'll be fine. When you're ready, we can talk about you going back to work, but I see this as God giving us an opportunity to let you follow your dreams, and I want that for you. I want you to be free enough to do your schooling. My goal isn't for you to contribute equally. I will take care of us. You do what you want to, not what you think I want you to. We will be fine if that happens. And I cried. That's really sweet.
Oh my God, I communicated and it worked.
Yay.
I was like, this man, he's gonna be like, oh no, and then he did. Oh.
Yeah, that was
so
a really good way to put it.
Dumb.
Yeah, he was just assuming, and it was just a little mistake. And
then he realized he was being dumb.
Yeah. And then he fixed it. Look at that.
He fixed it.
Imagine that.
Aww.
That's really sweet. By the way, you know what else would be really, really sweet is if you listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one. Just go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. Check it out. But there is a little bit more. Overall, everything is okay and the world is not ending, and I was able to self-soothe and regulate by myself, which may not seem like much for a lot of people, but when I started my healing journey, I was told that I had no emotional intelligence or capacity to regulate. I have come so far, and being able to express myself in a healthy way was amazing. Good job. He commended that, said that he sees how hard I'm working to heal my past, and that he is so happy for me. My husband is my biggest supporter always. He is an amazing amazing partner to me, and I appreciate those of you who called me out on the pettiness. I feel validated by my person, by you all, and I feel better after talking. Looks like it's time to start packing. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for everything. And there is a quick couple comments. Comment number 1 says, I am a therapist and I see the work you did. Amazing job. I'm also glad to hear your husband and mother-in-law sound like good people. And OP responds, thank you so much. It was super uncomfortable and really hard, but oh my God, do I feel amazing and accomplished. This was my biggest step towards progress yet, excluding actually taking the step for getting help through therapy. They are both good people. Their whole family is amazing. I am so blessed to have them and to have my husband as my biggest supporter. He danced with me in the kitchen and jumped up and down with excitement when we were talking about how well I was able to handle the situation. Oh, that's so cute. I am overjoyed with your validation as well. Thank you so much. And there's a couple of comments left, but OP doesn't respond to.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's the end of
What
it.
an ending.
Wow.
What an ending. I love that, man.
I just love it when people take the healthy way out.
Yeah.
And it
Beautiful.
all turns out well.
Ain't that just the way?
It's so
Imagine
good.
that. Imagine communication.
But that is the end of that story.
Yeah.
And we've got another one for
No.
you. No, really?
No. We'll double check me on that.
I think you're right.
But that is the end of the episode.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
and see you tomorrow.